Welcome to the Golden State Warriors party. A lot more than can be said for the other team in the San Francisco Bay Area playing tonight. Hold on, my mic is not plugged in, is it? Give me 1 second here. All right, I hope I sound a little better. Your Golden State Warriors putting on a shooting clinic at Chase Center. That's how you win basketball games. At least that's one of the ways. Just make all your goddamn shots. And that's what the Golden State Warriors did. Tremendous bench play. Tremendous play by Brandon Pajemski. I'm going to sing his praises tonight because all I ask from that kid is to give me assists. Get your team involved. And not only did he shoot the ball well tonight, he had 7 assists. Bravo, kid. You're going to get my praise when you do that. He's not going to be our FanDuel player of the game, however. We'll reveal that in just a second. Apologies for our live audience for my delay, but we are live and kicking now here at a Saturday night. If you're in the doldrums about your San Francisco 49ers, I feel your pain. If there's any good news, if there's any consolation, your Golden State Warriors picked up at least some of the slack, winning the games they're supposed to win, including at home over the Charlotte Hornets. Final score in a game that the Warriors owned from the outset, in a game where Jimmy Butler, a very late scratch because of personal reasons. That's interesting. That's very interesting. When a player is out a late scratch, like Jimmy Butler was tonight, and the reason is personal, there's at least a little concern. I hope he's all right, is all I can say about that. Heidi Fall writing in the chat, can they trade Kuminga now? They could. Are they? I don't know. On a night where Jimmy Butler was a late scratch, on a night where Guy Santos was out, because of a sprained ankle that has not fully healed. If Kuminga was going to play, a game like tonight would have been it, which leads me to 2 conclusions. Either he's going to get traded or Kerr is gone this offseason. I don't really see any other scenario than those 2. We'll find out. Trade deadline is February 5th. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about your dubs. We'll talk about the incredible bench play. Big Al Horford is back. Big Al is doing some heavy lifting. Bravo. A lot of folks, myself included, had completely written him off. Some folks wrote him off the moment he was signed on this team. He's back. He's producing out there. It's incredible. Let's talk about it. Your Warriors victorious tonight again in dominant fashion. 136-116 on a night where they shoot 44.2% from deep, 54.8% from the field. It was a clinic, folks, and let's break it all down next. We'll welcome the audience. Otherwise, you're stuck with me. I apologize for that. Hopefully, we'll still have some fun in the process. Welcome to the program. We're powered by FanDuel, and this is the Golden Days. Let's go. Welcome to the program. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, your host, coming to you live from our West Sonoma County studios. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild. Over on Twitter, my handle is at Surf Journalist. The program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. Speaking of FanDuel, let's see if they have a line for Game 6 of an 8-game homestand for your Golden State Warriors. The Warriors now 5-1 on this homestand. The one loss coming in that ugly game to the Atlanta Hawks. Otherwise, taking care of biz to improve to 24-19. I started last show, I think, saying the Warriors were, or the last post-game show, saying the Warriors were 5 games over 500. I corrected myself like 2 minutes later, but I'm still kicking myself for starting a show with that misinformation. I apologize. They are now 5 games over 500. The Warriors with a 24-19 record, taking care again of business, defeating the Charlotte Hornets in town. Second of a back-to-back for them. They beat the Lakers last night, and
whether it was weary legs, whether the Warriors were just clicking on all cylinders. It was a beatdown. Although Charlotte did put up a fight for most of this match, but by the fourth quarter, it was just too much. It was absolutely too much. When the Warriors bench can do what they do in a game like tonight, to give you some perspective, of the 136 points the Warriors scored, the bench, I'm doing the math in my head, I apologize. So 35, 40, 56, 70, 72 of the Warriors 136 off the bench. That's above 50% of your total points. That's impressive. And in just a second, I'll tell you who the FanDuel player of the game is. That one is fairly obvious. But in terms of upcoming games, again, the Warriors now 5-1 on their homestand. Game 7 of the homestand is coming Monday. The first this is the only back-to-back set of the homestand. They play the Miami Heat on Monday, and then the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday. And I'm on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now. There is no line available for that game yet. Something tells me you can bet on wins and losses because the Warriors are starting to put together some consistency here performance-wise. And no, you actually cannot bet on the win total right now. It's been at 46.5 for about a week or so. If you want to bet on your Golden State Warriors to win the whole damn thing, last time I looked at it, it was plus 4,500. Still plus 4,500. Same odds as the Orlando Magic, the LA Lakers plus 3,500. OKC, your favorites to repeat as world champions, plus 110. Next up, the Denver Nuggets plus 700. The Spurs and the Knicks, don't touch the Knicks, tied for third at plus 1,300. If those odds were plus 3,300, I touched the Knicks, not a plus 1,300. We just saw them the other day. I know Jalen Brunson was not on that team. I know Mitchell Robinson was out due to load management, but it don't matter. You need a good bench. You need depth to go deep in the postseason. To win the whole thing, you definitely need depth. Knicks don't have that. Plain and simple. Don't put your money there. And again, the Golden State Warriors victorious. Your FanDuel player of the game, a man. And again, this is why I call this audience the Golden Days audience. Those who are official members, I call them Golden Dazers. And I bring you folks up, the highest IQ audience of any show, without question. Because which show was telling you not to wave the white flag on DeAnthony Melton? Which show was telling you that was one of the best free agent signings this offseason for the Warriors? Which show was telling you when Melton first came back and that shot was not falling, be patient. It will start falling. And it is falling now. DeAnthony Melton and his 6'10" wingspan was causing havoc out there. Dude was raising a ruckus on his way to a team-leading 24 points off the bench in just 21 minutes and 27 seconds of play. 24 points to lead all Warrior scorers. He was second in the game overall. Brandon Miller of the Charlotte Hornets leading all scorers with 28 points. Second up, DeAnthony Melton and Con Knippel with 24 apiece. But Melton leads all Warriors players in scoring with 24, is tied for the team lead in net rating with a plus 24, along with Will Richard, who also had a plus 24. And we'll break down the net rating thing in a second, because you can see from net rating, if you're looking at it on a box score, which group of players was clearly running the show tonight and dominating Charlotte. But first and foremost was Melton. Besides the 24 points, dude shot 8 of 16 from the field, shot 3 of 6 from deep. If you're unfamiliar with basic math, that's 50% shooting, both from the field and from beyond the arc. Damn impressive. A perfect 100% from the free throw line. Melton was 5 of 5 from the charity stripe, added 6 rebounds, added 3 assists, added a steal, and that steal was marvelous. That represented one of the key highlights of this game, and only 1 turnover. Warriors had 12 total as a team. Charlotte had 17 total as a team. But DeAnthony Melton, your FanDuel player of the game. If you follow the program on social media at Golden Days Pod, we produce a little social media package late night, usually well after the show is over, highlighting that player of the game with a highlight, some pictures, and some goofy music. We have fun with that thing sometimes. You have to see it to understand what I'm trying to talk about, or not. Maybe it's not that interesting to begin with, but nonetheless, we do honor players after every game with player of the game honors, and tonight it's DeAnthony Melton. So kudos to you. A great performance. Meanwhile, the 49ers game is officially over, 41-6, the final score there. So the Niners humbled in Seattle, a very difficult place to play. But again, the Golden State Warriors victorious, 136-116, a 20-point win, capped with, again, your player of the game, DeAnthony Melton. But he wasn't the only one that was playing fantastic. A lot of dudes stepped up. Draymond Green was barking at the Hornets early in this game because, like most teams, they let him shoot. They choose to not defend him on the perimeter, and Draymond made them pay dearly for that. Draymond was 4 of 8 from beyond the charity stripe. Not from the charity stripe, I apologize. From the arc, 4 of 8 3-point shooting tonight. Dre was 8 of 14 from the field total, added 3 rebounds, 6 assists to go with his 20 points. Did have 3 turnovers. Him and Steph each had 3 turnovers in this game, but a 20-point outing for Draymond Green. Stephen Curry, meanwhile, 29 points, 35 seconds. Playing time, 6 of 12 from the field, 2 of 8 from deep. Steph, ironically, one of the worst 3-point shooters in this game tonight. A quiet 14-point, 5 assists, 3 rebound effort for Steph to go along with those 3 turnovers I mentioned a moment ago. The Jimmy Butler absence because of personal reasons. Again, if anything comes down that reveals what that is, maybe it's completely irrelevant, and maybe it's just something literally personal. Maybe he had the shits. Maybe he has a kid who's sick. I don't know. Hopefully it's not something too serious or dramatic. But in his place in the starting lineup was Will Richard, who also had a fantastic game tonight. Will Richard. Where's his box score? Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Someone in the chat was like, Kuminga's getting traded. And I was like, what he is? And then I read it again and it said he is going to be traded. A lot of people making the assumption that he's gone. If you understand the behind the scenes complexities, the dynamic of what has been a proxy war between the front office and the coaching staff, you'd understand there's nothing obvious here. There's nothing set in stone here. Does Kuminga want out? Hell yeah. Does the fan base want some movement? Hell yeah. Does the front office want to give him up for a bag of chips? Hell no. That's where they're at. And the front office is also smart enough to know that this 8-game homestand is to a certain extent a potential mirage, and they're not going to make a judgment or an assessment on this team, big picture, based off the 8-game homestand. They're going to make an analysis based off games coming up where they play at Minnesota, Rockets, Lakers. That's what they're. The barometer is how this team plays against the elite teams. And if the Warriors are competitive in those games, yeah, you swing for the fences. But the fact that the only good team they've beaten all year are the Spurs, and they did that, with Steph needing to put up 49 and 46 in those back-to-back games, has not convinced the front office to give him up for nothing. And so we shall see. It might happen. But again, the front office right now is beyond frustrated with Steve Kerr, and they actually value Kuminga. For anyone who thinks that the Warriors would trade Kuminga to a Western Conference rival, think again. They do not want to see that blown up in their face that closely. It's like a nation dropping nukes, 50 miles away. You don't want the radiation blowing back at you. That's the analogy there. They don't want the JK nuke to blow all that radiation back on the franchise. So if he's going to get moved, it's likely going to be to an Eastern Conference team, or maybe they just wait till the offseason. We'll find out. But Tracy McKindle is saying it seems Joe Lacob is no longer in Kuminga's corner after he opted out of the OKC game. What do you base that on, Tracy? If you don't mind following up on that. There is one report I will touch on in a bit from Logan Murdoch, but that thing is so batshit crazy. It's hard to believe, to make sense of it, to believe anything from it. But again, if there's if Tracy, if you know anything that I've missed, follow up, please, so I can understand what you're talking about in regards to Joe Lacob waving the white flag on Kuminga, because that would be news to me. But I mean, Kuminga wants out. I know that for certain, and we all know that for certain. It's now official. Kev F saying the Athletic article. I need more specifics than that. Like, what was said exactly? In that Athletic article that indicates the front office is out. Here's the thing about the front office. They don't just leak shit to reporters. That's they're insanely private on that front. Do I think they intentionally do shit for the purpose of, let's say, like a propaganda war, like that email that got leaked out from the in the exchange between Lacob and the fan? Yeah. But are they trying to tell reporters, or are they like leaking information to reporters that would not benefit them in any regard? No. They keep those secrets locked and guarded, which is why you rarely, if ever, hear rumors coming directly from the Warriors themselves. It's almost always either players leaking shit, agents leaking shit. Rarely, the front office leaking stuff. And I need to know what was said exactly to understand that the front office is out. Because if they are out, I do think he'd be gone regardless. Anyways, but going back to the game again, Jimmy Butler out. So the Warriors and Guy Santos was also out. Jonathan Kuminga is just out, period. Why? Because it's a quote unquote difficult situation. So we saw a Buddy Hield step up, and this just goes to show the Warriors shooting how awesome it was tonight. 23 of 52 from the 3-point line. That's 44.2% shooting from deep. When teams shoot like that, you don't lose. It's very rare. And this is also the huge advantage of the Warriors playing at home right now. Your role players, your non-stars, those guys almost always play far superior at home than on the road. And the Warriors are so full of players like that. It's not surprising that these guys hit their shots like they did tonight at home, whereas you don't see it that often when they're playing road games. I'll run down all the good 3-point shooting for the night because it's an impressive list. Moses Moody, 4 of 6. He finished the game with 12 points, all 12 points coming from that 4 of 6 shooting. Those were his only field goal attempts for the game. He's pretty much only shooting 3-point shots at this point, and that's fine. It's a winning recipe so far. Draymond Green, 4 of 8. Quentin Post, 1 of 3. You can live with that. Will Richard, just 1 of 5. You can't typically live with that, but Will was doing so much in every other aspect of the game tonight. You live with it. Steph, 2 of 8. Again, I would guess... Not guess. Literally, he was the second worst 3-point shooter tonight behind just Will Richard. GP2 hit a 3-pointer. That was a random one, too. Al Horford, Big Al, 2 of 4 from deep. Big Al, again, is he's feeling good, clearly. I'm dying to see how this looks against real opposition. And we're not going to see that again until... week and a half, 2 weeks from now, when the Warriors are in Minnesota for a back-to-back set. But if Big Al can do shit like this against elite teams, I'm stoked. You should be too if you're a Warriors fan. DeAnthony Melton, 3 of 6. Brandon Pajemski, 3 of 6. Pods, by the way, again, great game. 16 points, 7 assists. Do that all day, every day. I'll be a fan of yours. That's all I'm asking for. At 6 rebounds as well. But again, 3 of 6 shooting for Pajemski from deep. He had 16 points in this game. Buddy Hield, a guy that is no longer in the rotation. His number got called tonight because of the Jimmy Butler absence, and Buddy was delivering as well. 2 of 5 from deep. That's good for 40% shooting. Buddy had 14 points in this game. Buddy Hield also had 3 blocked shots in this game. Craziness. So that's your 3-point shooting. The Warriors as a team shot the ball 54.8%. I mentioned that earlier. 51 of 93 from the field. Exemplary shooting display for your Golden State Warriors. And and as a result, you win by 20. It isn't very complicated. Hamza Kassem saying that DeAnthony Melton and Big Al have been cooking. Let's start with DeAnthony Melton. I think we're at a point now where it's safe to say that DeAnthony Melton is this team's 3rd or 4th best player. Let's say 4th. I'm not going to bump Draymond from that. I'm not at that point with Dre, even though I know a lot of people are checked out on him. They're ready to move on. I'm not quite there yet, but I don't even want to say quite. I'm not there yet, but DeAnthony Melton, if in fact Kuminga is done, you now have you can now, I think, safely say he's your 4th best player on this team. DeAnthony Melton is a great player, period. He only played 6 games at the start of last season for the Warriors before that very disappointing ACL injury, which knocked him out for a year. And he looked good even then as the team's starting 2 guard. And as he gets more wind, and hopefully sooner than later, the minute restriction is going to be waived. That's a beautiful signing. Seth Curry was in the broadcast booth tonight for a little bit, and he was asked about his sciatica. I think in this case it's a left sciatic nerve injury. And Bob Fitzgerald, the team's play-by-play broadcaster, brought up the fact that Al Horford suffered from that for a little bit too. And then Seth quickly added an addendum to that, saying, "Mine is much worse than Al Horford's." And that's an update. That's like the first update I've heard, and thankfully it came from the horse's mouth regarding the injury. So whatever was afflicting Big Al in terms of a sciatic injury, Seth Curry coming out today publicly as he was sitting in the broadcast booth for about half a quarter, saying that his is far worse. So we shall see what happens, big picture. But in terms of whether or not Seth Curry is going to ever play, I still think if he's healthy, that's another dude that can contribute. I know he doesn't give you size, but he gives you smarts. He gives you elite shooting, which you can always use. John Holmes in the chat, by the way, saying that DeAnthony Melton is a 3 now, or 3 now on the team. Yeah. And look, again, the Draymond thing is weird because you can never really say he's like, when you're ranking him, you're not going to use his offensive numbers in those rankings, right? It's mostly defense and mental fortitude, those kind of things. So Alazir, I'm so sorry. I always struggle with your name. Is it Ale Azar Ben Israel saying that Seth Curry looks chubby? Yeah, I will say this, man. He's 35 years old. If you take good care of yourself, and I'm not saying Seth doesn't, but typically, generally speaking, if you take good care of yourself, you should not look like you're aging at 35. But Seth, you see, there are some signs there, and I'm with you. I don't like that either. It's like, why do you look chubby, dude? What's going on with you, man? Like just eat a little less. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe the sciatic injury is just completely sidelining him, where he can't move at all. Again, think about the worst neck pain you've ever experienced in your life, or maybe throwing out your lower back. If you've ever gone through either of those, the lower back thing is far worse, in my opinion. Like when that, if your lower back goes out, and if you've experienced that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're crippled. Like at least with a kinked neck, you could still function. It just everything hurts, and it's just a massive annoyance. Lower back being thrown out, like you're crippled. You barely can do jack shit. Like going to the bathroom is painful. So if the sciatic thing is at that level of pain and discomfort, maybe he's just not working out at all. Maybe that's why he looks a little chubby. I don't know. But Tracy McKindle, from January 15th, The Athletic. Who wrote this, by the way? Even Lacob, long one of Kuminga, writing, quote, even Lacob, long one of Kuminga's supporters, is down on the 50-year forward, according to team sources. Who is the author of that? I'm dying to know who wrote that. And again, if this is true, then he's gone. I mean, to me, that's the only way we're going to truly know about how Lacob truly feels about him. He has not spoken publicly. Who's the author? If you don't mind, Tracy, can you give me a byline on that? The word byline, by the way, is journalism jargon for the name of who wrote the story. Always think of the word by space line, by space, and then you write your name on the line. That's a byline. Yeah, and Riz saying that Riz saying JK is gone. It's obvious. Obvious how? What's obvious about it? Why is it obvious? G4M saying Kuminga's gone already. I already let it go. Yeah, I mean, logic would dictate that, but what's like how do we know? Like, how do we know he's gone? Tracy, please provide the source. Like, who wrote that story for The Athletic? That part of it is important. Now, and again, we're not going to talk much about Kuminga tonight because what is there to talk about? One thing I do want to mention, though, and then we'll play some sound from the postgame presser. We'll bring some audience members on if anybody wants to talk about your Golden State Warriors. But this report was interesting, and I want to bring it up because I have not seen anyone else touch on this necessarily. And I got to look at my phone, I guess. I can't find it online. But so Logan Murdoch of The Ringer was on a podcast reportedly. I have not heard this myself, but I've seen some sources transcribe it. And he was on the Ringer NBA show. And this story is interesting because Draymond Green replied to it, at least on the social media post on Threads, where I first noticed this. Armando Laura actually sent this to me. Professor, thank you. And I'll read this to you verbatim, quote-wise. Let me see if I can find the thread so that we can show a visual of this as well for the YouTube audience. You can follow along in terms of the text. All right, here it is. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to share this on my screen, and for the podcast audience, I will read this verbatim. So again, Logan Murdoch on the NBA Ringer show saying, quote, the veteran leadership with Steph. Hold on. What's going on here? Anyways, sorry. Okay, let's start over. Quote, the veteran leadership with Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler saying it's not a distraction at all. This thing at all is not a distraction. We love JK. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, not them specifically, but the locker room was all telling stories about they can't stand him. Unquote. So to paraphrase what Logan Murdoch is saying, and I don't know how often he's even so Logan Murdoch, it's not like he's covered the Warriors like extensively. He was writing for NBC Sports Bay Area for a couple years. Dude is a character. I will say that. And you know, and then he went to the Ringer fairly quickly after working at NBC Sports Bay Area for a couple years covering the Warriors. But he's not around here that often. So when he writes this basically like he was in the locker room himself, and I'm not saying he wasn't. I guess I gotta do some research and see if he's actually been around lately. Because if he hasn't, then that means someone else is feeding this to him. This is not him getting this information firsthand. But what he's claiming here, to paraphrase, is that with the exception of the veteran core, the Warriors can't stand Jonathan Kuminga. With the exception, and again, and I don't understand how you can say the locker room and then at the same time say, but not Steph, Dre, or Jimmy. It's like, what does that mean? So does that mean like all the bench players are talking shit about him and they don't like him? But anyways, and by the way, I thank you, Tracy, for saying Marcus Thompson, Sam Amick, and Nick Friedel wrote the story. Okay. All right. Well, according to them, Joe Lacob is what, down? Let me read your other quote again. Even Lacob, long one of Kuminga's supporters, is down on the fifth-year forward, according to team sources. All right. I don't know what down on him means. Is it like, but again, if you're out, like, why is he still here? Like, I mean, if that's true, why is he still here? Are the Warriors waiting until February 5th, hoping another team is desperate enough to give them more? I mean, how do you not orchestrate something by now? We'll see. Again, trade deadline's February 5th. I'm fascinated. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you. And again, going back to this Logan Murdoch thing, just to finish up the first part of this, Draymond Green replied to it with cap, 2 caps. And in case you're unfamiliar with what the blue cap means in emoji language, it means you lying. So Draymond Green publicly, because Draymond Green, in case you're curious, following Warriors games, one of his habits has become going on threads and replying to people, seeing who's talking shit about him, capping back. He's really doing that. And it's amusing. I try to repost everything he does on there just because, again, the dude is absolutely incredible in pretty much every regard. But he called Logan Murdoch a liar. And it did make me wonder, look at KKS buying folks memberships. Bravo. Thank you, KKS. So if you want to be an official Golden Dazer, now's your chance. 10 gifts. Sign up for free because KKS is being altruistic. But it did make me wonder, like, okay, who could be the source on this? Right? Like, if it's not Steph, Trey, or Jimmy, who could be talking shit about Kuminga? And here is my guess, because I decided I went through the whole roster. I was just curious. I'm like, okay, could it be Moses Moody? Hell no. Like I do know the dynamics of the behind the scenes enough to answer some of these. Moses Moody and JK are very close. That's a hell no. Will Richard, the rookie? I would guess no, but who knows? I just don't see him as being a type to just be leaking information like that, talking shit like that. GP2? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Big Al? New player? Would he be bad-mouthing Kuminga? I don't know. My guess would be no. So GP2, I think, is a suspect. I know for a fact Melton and Kuminga are close. It's not DeAnthony Melton. I know for a fact Pajemski and Kuminga are close. They're very close. It ain't Pods. I can't see Buddy Hield being the shit-talking type. I'm confident Trace Jackson Davis and Kuminga are close. We know it's not we don't know. I don't think it's Guy Santos. It could be, who knows if it's Guy. The only other player that I would point a finger at is Pat Spencer. It wouldn't surprise me if Pat felt like that. I don't know if GP2 would say something like that, but I've never, and I've seen them at events being buddy-buddy. So if this is true, I would guess Pat Spencer. And I'm only guessing that because I've seen Pat and JK on the floor together, and Pat intentionally not passing the ball to JK quite a few times. That's all I'm going on, though. So this is, I'm just literally bullshitting here, just spitballing. And then don't be surprised if Logan Murdoch's source is Nick Olis Kerr. Could be that too. Best ever. I just literally said on the show, Kuminga and Pajemski are close friends. It's not Pajemski. I can promise you that. Oh, and Jen Lena, I forgot about Quentin Post. I forgot to mention him. Maybe he could be a suspect as well. Who knows? Do the Dutch talk shit? This is where I wish I had Michael Caine's character in Austin Powers Goldmember. I need to get that drop. If you've never seen that movie, you should. I was strongly recommending it to Sophia Jones to watch. She hadn't seen any of the Austin Powers movies. But in the third one, Austin Powers' dad is in the movie, and he's played by Michael Caine. And when he's asked about the Dutch, I got to get this drop. Like right now, all I can do is just a Google search to find it. But it's so funny. Like his character is like discriminatory against the Dutch. Like doesn't, of all people, it's just so random. That's why it's so funny. And you got to see it for yourself. So hopefully it won't get flagged for this. Whoops. Let me share this clip because I like comedy. I like at least trying to make people laugh. I don't know if I'm successful at it. But here is Michael Caine ripping on the Dutch.
All right, Gold member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
And the Dutch. I should get that. I should get that clip as a permanent soundbite. Anyway, so maybe it's the Dutchman. I don't know. Nonetheless, or maybe it's just all utter bullshit and Logan's reaching. Who knows? Yeah, the great Young West 79 saying the great Michael Caine. All right, let's see if there's any press conference sound. I'll post the link if anybody wants to come on to the show. If you have any opinions or thoughts on this Saturday, January 17th, as the Warriors improve to 24-19, 2 games remaining on the homestand. First up is going to be Monday. The Warriors host the Miami Heat. Andrew Wiggins back in town. Bam Adebayo. We'll do a preview at the end of the show talking about that. And then let's see if one of my favorite YouTubers, he failed us miserably the other night, but the game was also on Amazon Prime, and which makes me wonder if that made it difficult for Basket Man on YouTube, who publishes pre and post game interviews, doing phenomenal work. Let's listen to Warriors head coach Steve Kerr. This is following the Warriors beating the Hornets by 20. All right, let me get this queued up. There we go. Oh, and I see Bloomer Vibes in the chat. He's got the happy emoji, the happy profile pic. So he'll be up first. But in the meantime, here is Warriors head coach Steve Kerr.
23s, and I think the third one where at least 10 players have made a three, which I guess shows that it's not just one guy getting hot from behind the arc. What do you think the team is doing to create consistently these open looks that are allowing you guys to get these kind of numbers?
Well, we're taking care of the ball, and we're pushing the ball in transition. Our spacing is great, and with Melton and Al playing at the level they are, it just adds another dynamic to our game. You know, Melt getting downhill to the rim, drawing help. Now the ball swings. People are getting open threes. So both those guys, I think, playing at such a high level has changed our team. The depth of our team right now is really our strength.
Going on to that depth, 8 guys scored in double figures for this game. What is that? How do you attribute that to? Is it the conditioning? Is it the training staff to have that many guys just constantly scoring?
Well, it's the roster. We've got a very deep team. We've got a lot of guys who can play, and we've been playing, a pretty big rotation now for a couple of weeks. Obviously, Jimmy was a late scratch, so we slid Will up and played a 10-man rotation. But we've been playing an 11-man rotation the last couple of weeks, and just trying to take advantage of the number of good players we have, and a lot of those guys can really score on any given night.
Looking ahead to next game, you guys had a wire-to-wire victory. The Heat had a very tough win, last-second win against the Thunder. How does that kind of go into your mindset? Are you going to try and run them off because they're obviously going to be tired on a short week and traveling cross-country?
Well, we played Miami, 6 weeks ago or so in Miami. They run a pretty unique style, unique system. And, they beat us down there. We know we have to stay in front of them. They're really an attacking team, and they're playing well. So, as you said, we've got to be ready for them. But, we're not going to change the way we play based on how they're playing. We're just going to do what we do.
Steve, have you talked at all to Jimmy since?
I have not talked to him, but I got word from Mike that everything is fine. He just had a personal thing that came up right before the game, but everything is fine.
Not expected to be anything long term?
I don't think so.
Did you expect to have Buddy as part of the rotation tonight, or was that a correlation?
No, I don't think so.
Did you expect to have Buddy?
I don't think so.
Did you?
I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna pull that forever. 235 mark. Mental note.
To be anything long term?
I don't think so.
Did you expect to have Buddy as part of the rotation tonight, or was that a correlation?
No, he kind of slid in for.
I
don't think so.
Did you expect to have Buddy as part of the rotation tonight, or was that a correlation?
No, he kind of slid in for Jimmy. Just kind of the domino effect there.
Just how rewarding was it to see Buddy have the kind of impact that he had tonight?
It's great. He's one of the best teammates I've ever seen. Just the way he conducts himself, his energy, his joy, whether he's playing or not, his just the light that he brings to the locker room every day is infectious and powerful, and he's just an incredible guy to coach. So I was happy for him to, that he had that night, given that he's been out of the loop for a while.
What was Will's reaction when he found out he's in the starting lineup, and how did he sort of respond?
It honestly happened after they announced the starters, after Jimmy was announced, and somebody came up to me and told me he was out. And we just kind of looked around and, oh, there's Will. Let's start him. So, yeah, no plan. We didn't, it happened so late. We didn't really have time. But, Will has started a lot of games for us this year, early in the season. He connects a lot of lineups. He just seemed like the logical fit off the bat.
I kind of asked you this a little bit the other night, but Melton again, 24 tonight. Is this scoring punch surprising you? Even in his 6 games last year, it was a lot of like glue stuff. Right now, it's like heavy scoring off the bench.
Yeah, he's always been capable. He's never been a huge scorer, but the speed, the athleticism, the shooting, he's always been very capable. And he had a game at OKC last year where I think he had 20 or something, and we won. And it was, they're obviously so talented, and the way he looked out there with his speed, matching up with their speed, just he felt like the perfect fit. And then I think he was done. Maybe the next game, I think he tore his ACL, and so we saw it last year, and I'm just so happy for him. He's really been out of the league for about 2 years, and so to see him having so much success after all the work he's put in, the rehab, it's fantastic. He's just an awesome guy. He's a great teammate. You pull for him, always ready for any role he's going to play, and it's just fun to see him, back in the groove.
Steve, you mentioned about the depth of this team. and the way the bench has been scoring. I think they had 70 points tonight off the bench there. Do you feel like now this team's really starting to gel, even with the 10, 11-man rotation that you got going now with this team?
Yeah, we're in a good groove. You know, we needed this homestand, and we've got 2 games left on the homestand, so we've got to keep it going. 2 tough teams coming in, but this is the most momentum we've had since we started out 4-1, and but it feels good. It feels like a lot of guys are really contributing, and you know, we're really taking care of the ball night after night, and allowing ourselves to to get shots on goal over and over again. And when we do that, you see how much firepower we have. And so that's been the big shift. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it came on this homestand with lots of rest. And it's the first time we've felt really settled, I think, in a while.
And,
I don't think so.
Did you expect to have?
He doesn't think so. Of course, this homestand's been amazing. You've also been playing the shittiest teams imaginable, right, Steve?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think so?
Did you expect to have Buddy as part of the rotation tonight, or was that a correlate?
I don't think so.
Did you?
Okay. Anyways, all right. I'm done having fun, folks. I know. Sometimes these pressers can be annoying, but without us listening to that, we would not have gotten. Okay. Teo, a lot of great chats that I posted on the screen during that press conference. Teo Irvin in our chat saying that John Wall had a similar situation with the Rockets and they just sent him home. Do that with Kuminga. And not to mention, if Lacob is down on him, if that report is true, huge if, by the way. And the only reason why I'm skeptical of that report, not saying it's not true, but if it is true, why is he still on this team? Trade his ass. What is going, like, why is he sitting on that bench? It's ridiculous. Hamza Kassem saying, do you consider Miami a good team? No. The whole East is shit. That's why congratulations. You're going through your East part of your schedule. Detroit might be an exception. I have not observed them closely enough to say otherwise. The East is ass, man. But look, bright side, you're supposed to win these games, and they are. So kudos there. And we also don't know what's going to come back in the Kuminga trade. If anyone. Hopefully someone. Julian Bashir, welcome to the program. Are you happy tonight?
I'm not Julian.
I mean, no, I know. Sorry, Bloom. I'm sorry. That was a mental fart times 10 without any smell or sound. My sincerest apologies. Bloomer vibes. How are you doing tonight? You happy?
Yeah, pretty good.
Wow. How do you really feel?
I mean,
what's going on with you, brother? That does not sound like an exalted, elated Warriors fan. What's going on?
No, I mean, excuse me. This one was like, it's like you said, it's a win we're supposed to win, or it's a game we're supposed to win. And you were talking about previously, I forgot which live it was. I've lost track at this point, but I keep watching it. You were talking about like how it's like in one of the lives before, it's like fool's gold, like big picture, right? These kind of games you're supposed to win, but don't be fooled just because like, oh, we're winning now and things are looking up. But like, let's get to some actual competition and then let's start jumping for joy after those ones. Okay. I know. Like these kind of games is like, good, you won. It's a blowout. I'm like, I would have wished like Kuminga would have had some run in, like, or even get more minutes for TJD for size, because Charlotte's pretty long in a way too, right? But that's just me. But
don't say just. It's a valid opinion, and I'm guessing a lot of people feel that way. And like you said, they are winning the games they're supposed to win. That is what good teams do, right? And they're winning these games comfortably. We're seeing the emergence of DeAnthony Melton. To me, this is just me, is single-handedly what's exciting me the most, because he's a real basketball player. I had almost forgotten about the fact that he has a 6'10" wingspan until that was mentioned on the broadcast tonight. He's a menace defensively. He's just a great basketball player, man. Like I want a future with Anthony Melton wearing a Golden State Warriors uniform, man. Like, give me Melton for the next 5 years. Just let's pray that his asking price is not too high this offseason.
Yeah, he plays. Kudos to Melton. I think he should deserve Player of the Game. I don't know. I just joined recently. I don't know if you gave that award yet. I don't know who you chose, but I think Melton should deserve that reward. Also, I don't know if you know, but did you see Richard with that haircut?
I like it. Do you?
Yeah. When he did that dunk, I'm like, I had to take off my glasses and wipe it.
Who was? I did that earlier in the game. I was like, who the hell was that? What? And,
I was like,
yeah. I don't agree with Bob Fitzgerald, who said he looks like Giannis Antetokounmpo now. I was like, I don't know about that comp, but
yeah, when he dunked that, I'm like, okay, mini Giannis, I see you with the hops, like, you know. But yeah, so I mean, just giving some kudos to other players, but yeah, so I really think that the Warriors, for these teams right now, that they're clicking, and that's a good thing. But it's supposed to be what they're doing. Like it's what they're in this kind of run right now. That it's supposed. Yeah, like I just said, they're supposed to win these games. But
absolutely, man.
I want them to do the way they do, like tonight against elite talent teams. Okay, like you said, Pistons a moment ago, saying that even though the East is like crap right now, but Pistons are, I mean, I don't want to disown teams like that, knowing if they come in and beat our butts.
Well, they might. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because that's I think they're like a hard-nosed defensive team. Because I think the coach is JB Biggerstaff, right?
Correct. The son. Yeah. He was with Cleveland previously, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, him, and then you got Cunningham and Duran. Obviously, would have been a dream scenario if he can come to the Warriors before, but now they're clicking good. But anyways, so yeah, we gotta have that same energy like we did tonight with these teams right now against those kind of teams, or even better. And then we'll start seeing like turning a new leaf maybe towards certain people in this. Like, for example, like I'm still gonna have my differences with Steve, but like if he plays the right people and then you're getting these wins, slowly but surely, I'll start looking at him differently. But right now, I still see him as like a cruddy head coach. I mean,
yeah, I'm not going to look at him differently. Like the only thing that's going to change my mind is a championship. Like like it's championship or bust for me, man. It is 4 years of this bullshit. It's too much. Wins against Eastern Conference teams are not going to magically make me like buy back in on this guy.
I get it.
I just want to Urquidez, real quick, Bloomer, while I have you, I want to mention Urquidez family is pushing in our chat Kuminga to the Lakers, and a huge reason why I do not see that happening is because of the fact that they're a rival, and you're going to see this guy coming to your building. You're discussing the possibility of pairing him up with Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Like, they're not going to just bolster his play, like being surrounded like that. But with that said, Urquidez family brings up like, what if the Lakers offer a first round pick and Jared Vanderbilt? Look, Jared Vanderbilt would be phenomenal. I've liked that dude for a long time. The one chink in his armor I felt has always been durability. Side note, a tip of the cap to Rick Celebrini, the head of medicine for the Golden State Warriors. I bring that up because you see all these teams coming into town just riddled with injuries. You see this across the NBA, so many teams dealing with injury issues. And then you look at the Warriors night in, night out, small team, and even like Big Al's healthy now. And the only guy that's missing time extensively is Seth. Seth even brought up tonight that he's working with Celebrini, and hopefully he'll be healed and back soon. But kudos to this medical staff, man. They kept Otto Porter Jr. on the floor the entire season in 2022, which was vital. Potential game changer for the team winning a championship. It's also why OPJ was available for the Warriors for that discount. Mm-hmm. But kudos to Celebrini, man, because, and again, maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe he doesn't deserve credit, but I think someone does, and he is the head of medicine. So I'm going to give credit where it's due, and for the Warriors' durability, because our guys are showing up night after night, and that's not the case with a lot of NBA teams.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Si. Rick Celebrini has been doing a terrific job with the players and the even giving his opinions on certain things with the coaching staff themselves too. Like he just works his magic with certain players, and then it's like all of a sudden they're just 100% on the court again. You know, like he even did that with Iggy too. I remember back in the day he was doing that with Iggy, and he was obviously a vital part of the championship runs, and also like even in the later parts when they were like in the struggles. So like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, or that's what you're trying to say, but also I'm trying to add on to it. Like, we need to like never take those guys for granted, and always like remember that they're part of the reason why we're still where we are. You know, if it wasn't for those like health department folks, including with Rick Celebrini, then I'm pretty sure we'd be so low in the standings. I don't even know if we can be there.
Maybe.
You know?
Do you agree, by the way, with Hamza Kassem in our chat? One of the Hamzas.
Yeah,
I just remembered Armando Laura turning your name into a verb, Hamza. Thanks for playing along with that. Again, we're trying to have fun here. But Hamza writing in the chat that the only teams that the Warriors should be worried about are the Spurs, the Thunder, the Wolves, and the Nuggets. I will strongly advise adding the Rockets to that. I still would put a healthy Lakers team to that, because when Austin Reeves, Luka, and LeBron are healthy, 3/5 of that lineup is bringing such a size disadvantage to the Warriors to coincide with veteran talent. It's a headache, man. I'm not like, I need to see the Warriors actually beat the Lakers with this current model that they're running in order for me to feel comfortable about saying that the Lakers are not a threat. So I would add those two, and then maybe Detroit as well. We need to actually see this with our eyes, right? We need to see how that matchup looks and whether or not they will, in fact, cause problems, because something tells me Cade Cunningham is not going to be an easy thing for the Warriors to handle defensively, on top of a lot of other players on that team. So to me, it's 7. But the fact that there's 7 teams that the Warriors should be worried about. But look, you have Steph. When you have Steph, and when you have Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, an emerging DeAnthony Melton, Al Horford suddenly healthy again. You got Moody, who's playing good basketball right now. Who knows if that the 3-point shot will be a consistent thing? You've got some things working right now that looks good. And I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to say that, you know, your team's the 8th best in the NBA. I mean, are expectations far higher? Should they be higher? Yes. But 8th isn't awful either, you know, like, so they're hanging around. But I do not, to me, I would strongly, personally speaking, from my opinion only, add the Rockets, Lakers, and Pistons to that mix. And maybe the Pistons should be scratched off. We need to see with our own eyes. Bloomer, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a fairly good list of teams that, when we're going against them, that actually does produce a good challenge. And yes, I do also agree with your take about adding those like Rockets and obviously Pistons. And I think you had another one. Who was it? Lakers?
And Lakers, yeah.
Yeah, Lakers. Yeah, I agree with that. I just think that, you know, we need, like, it would be so much easier. It's just a simple 2-word phrase. Play Kuminga. When you play him, I guarantee you, those teams right there on that list from Hamza Kassem and the ones you added, if you just play Kuminga, hell, and if you even give some minutes to TJD with those lineups and two, I guarantee you it'd be less stressful, less of a hard work in terms of overall, and I'm pretty sure you would have a better outcome. That's just my personal take.
No. And look, it's a solid opinion. And then you have the Hamzas in the world like Barber NBA saying, well, the Warriors beat the Nuggets and the Lakers. That was in the first week when Kuminga was starting. Yeah. Totally different team, man. Like that Warriors squad looked like they could beat anybody. This Warriors squad that I'm looking at, like tonight, I think they could beat 22 or maybe 23 of the 30 NBA teams. That's the difference between a team that has a legitimate front court with athleticism and size and a team of hobbits who, on the right night when they're shooting the ball out of this world, can beat the Hornets.
Yeah, that's definitely something to really take into account, because this hobbit ball stuff can only take you so far. Like, I mean, I'm agree. It's true. Like these lineups that Steve is using is only like effective towards the weaker teams, especially for like look, okay, Spurs. Kudos to you with Spurs. We beat them twice that moment. I forgot what month we beat them in twice.
November. I think it was November.
Yeah, it was like late of last year. I think November. Yeah. So you got that, but then like the teams that are like missing. Remember, because we keep trying to like get past it, but it's always going to be recurring. Like the teams with the Giannis-less Bucks, and then the Halliburton and crew and the Pacers. How come we didn't win those ones with the lineup, Steve? You know, like see, like, and then JK also. I don't even think he wasn't playing in those games, wasn't he?
He was. That was the beginning of the end for him. He started to get phased out at that point. I can't remember if he played in one or both of those Spurs games in a limited run, but no, look, those Spurs games, that was hero ball from Steph, and it's also why, if that report is true and Joe Lacob is in fact down on Kuminga, trade his ass.
Yes,
trade his ass. Like, what are you wait? Like, how have you not put together something now? Like, why is he still on your team? You had 3 months. Okay, look, the game where Kuminga decided I ain't gonna play for you, and it was the OKC game, right? Where
I think that's when
Steve
he said,
Kerr.
Sorry. No, sorry to interrupt. I think is that the one where you said like, oh I had some sore back issues or something.
He was supposed to play against OKC on January 2nd. And Kuminga last minute said, I actually have a video of it. He actually was interviewed about it. This is what he said.
Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
So, and that was a very last minute thing. And everyone knows, look, I forgot who wrote the story, but an anonymous Warriors player came out and said, I don't blame him for faking the injury. And look, if Joe Lacob is down on that was 3 weeks ago. All right. Not to mention, if that's the reason you're down on him, like, then Joe, are you like, what's going this whole thing is crazy. Like, I have a hard time believing that Joe Lacob is down on Kuminga because of that one game. If he's down on him, you're down on him because you agree with Kerr. And if that's the case, trade his ass. Like, what are we doing here? Why did you even pay him? Like, what is going on here, man? Trade this kid. This is outrageous.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's really ridiculous when you think about it, because like when the January 15th day hit, and like even the day afterwards, I'm like, okay, front office, Joe, what are we doing? What's the plan? It was just lingering on. I'm like, dude, you're ruining this kid's future. Like, he's trying to. It's not that you just paid him. Like, okay, we'll just pay you so you can be satisfied. No, that's not the case. If you pay him, that's kudos for him because he's getting the money. But he also wants to play and be effective on the court. If you're not letting that happen, of course he's not gonna want to play with that organization anymore. And of course he's gonna say like, oh, or according to reports, oh, I'm demanding a trade. Dude, it's just basic basketball 101. This is seriously a tough time right now for Kuminga, and it should be a fairly easier situation for Joe and even Kerr. Like, they're just making it harder on themselves, knowing that, okay, we can just get rid of JK for something, or we can try to trade him for someone of good or better value.
But Latasha in her chat, bullshit. I never once said I didn't believe he faked that injury. I don't know where you're getting that from. Just don't make shit up about me, please. Like, I did not say that, Latasha. I know you're in love with Pajemski and Steve Kerr, but don't put words in my mouth, please. Go ahead.
Sai keeps it real, Latasha.
I try.
I'll be talking trash, especially if you don't got the facts to back it up.
Just don't lie. Just don't lie. I don't like lying, man. Just be honest. I did not say that. I never said that he's really hurt. I literally just went along. I just was saying this is crazy. I think that's all I said about it is he backed out last minute, and that's that. And look, someone in the chat wrote that Joe, it's understandable. Oh, here, it's right here. Next Fiesta writes that he's getting paid millions to fake an injury. I would be pissed too. Then why would he not be upset at Steve Kerr for benching a player that you're spending $20-something million on? Never mind the fact that 20-something million is probably closer to 40 million when you factor in luxury tax penalties. And yet Kerr's just DNPing this guy for like a month and a half straight. Wouldn't he be mad at the coach for doing that? So so maybe he's mad at everybody. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on here. All I do know is you can't trade him. Someone in the chat was saying like they can't find a trade partner. Bullshit. What they can't do is find equal value. You put yourself in this position, Joe, Steve, everybody. You destroyed this kid's value. You're not going to get equal value if you trade him. That's a pipe dream. You just got to take your losses and move on or fire the coach. and bring someone in who'll play him.
I vote for that.
This nothingness is outrageous, man. It's dumb shit, dude. It's crazy. God damn it. This is wild, dude.
It's just a confusing situation, Si. You know, like
Very.
you get JK the money he deserves. It's already past like the start of the trade, like with the January 15th, and then you have until the 5th of February. We're already past a couple of days, and I'm like, I'm thinking like, okay, either we gonna play JK now to see what he can do, or are you gonna like trade him? And we're not seeing either. It's like he's stuck in limbo. Like what's going on here? Like, are we gonna trade JK for something of where the fans can start getting riled up about something in a good way? Or are we just gonna let's keep DMPing JK? He has his money. We're winning these, off-brand type of games that we should be winning. Like, we need a change, a positive change, guys. Either start JK or let him come off the bench, give him good and significant minutes, or fire the head coach and get someone. I mean, obviously Terry Stotts, because he did great after that small stint. Let him take over, and then you'll see some better change and difference within like the games going forward. But until those stuff happens, we're just stuck in limbo right now. Especially
it's limbo. And again, I this is just my opinion. I find the idea of the Warriors trading him to a Western Conference team very far-fetched. The likelihood is he's going to go to like the Wizards, the Heat. But again, man, if it's a certainty he's gone, like you're literally just dragging this thing out until February 5th before you trade him for a bag of chips. Like, this is just it's just flat out wrong, man.
I ultimately feel bad for JK because I actually like the kid.
I do too. And everybody who's ever talked about him behind the scenes, until that Logan Murdoch report, that was the first time I've ever heard of a negative report on Kuminga personally. Makes me wonder again who said it. The anonymous part of it is interesting, but anyways, at least they won. They are keeping things interesting. The Warriors are damn good at that. Any final thoughts, Bloomer?
Final thoughts. We just gotta keep being positive, and hopefully something happens within like either it's just far stretched out, but I hope something happens either tonight or even the next day. I'm keeping track on my phone. I got all my notifications, everything on sound. I'm just waiting, see what happens. If they say something like, "Oh, JK is staying with the team" or something, and then I damn well expect Steve to freaking like give this kid minutes and let him play. Give him all of Pod's minutes, give him all of Buddy's minutes, and let him cook. Let him cook. If that's not the case, then you better trade him to a team and get back of similar or even great value. And if you're having a hard time with that, that's on you guys for making this linger on for so long.
Latasha in our chat is saying, trade him to a team in the West. We don't fear him. Latasha, no. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I want you to put your money where your mouth is. And in this case, money is a figurative statement. If that actually happens, if that hypothetical happens, let's say he gets traded to the Lakers and JK comes in this building and beats the Warriors and drops a minimum of 20, I want you to come on the show and show your face and tell the world you're a dummy. All right? Please. Because that's an egregious statement. First of all, who's we? Who are you? Who's we? You're part of the Warriors now. So, but if that's how you really feel, that you don't fear him, you think he's a bad basketball player, and that there's no risk sending him to a Western Conference opponent that the Warriors are going to face multiple times, I dare you to show up and admit how moronic this statement is if and when that happens. All right. That's the impetus I'm putting on you, because I think that is a very egregious thing to write. That send him anywhere. I dare him to step up to us. That's insane. I dare. Latasha, you better do so. All right. If that situation happens. And the fact that look, I personally don't see it happening. If it does, it'll be entertaining. It'll be entertaining.
Hey,
maybe not in the way you think is entertaining, but it'll be interesting. It's going to provide tremendous content on this show.
Yeah. Make a live side when something happens right away. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like midnight or even early or even like late of the next day. Like, if something happens, do it live. Do it live. We'll do it live.
Everything sucks. I need that Bill O'Reilly drop back. All right, Boomer. What's on the plan for the weekend? What are you guys doing? You and your significant other. And maybe the animals, you have pets too, right?
Huh?
Do you have a dog or cat? Maybe I'm mistaken.
Oh no. We're it's just us two. I mean, her family has like birds and stuff, but
Okay, so no pets. No, so what are you guys doing? Just being lazy, or you doing anything? What's the weekend plan?
No, we like to be active during the day, and then obviously we just chill at night. But we just get like a good run in, go to a park that's close by our house, and then we'll just we'll do some grocery shopping, and then at night we'll chill, maybe go to like not like a bar, but like go maybe like a karaoke place and then sing. She's a very active person. She likes to go out a lot. Me too.
Nice.
You know? We don't like before. Well, when I was single, I was always just being like that one college dude that would be like, "Hey, you want to go hang out?" I'm like, nah.
You were the introvert. You just wanted to stay home, huh?
Yeah, and then the moment I met her, oh my life took a whole 360 spin. I'm like,
it sounds like you have a phenomenal setup. A side note. I only was able to watch the first half because I was falling asleep. Not because the movie was bad; it was actually awesome. The moment the show's over, I'm making dinner and putting on Netflix. The movie The Rip, strong recommendation, and I've only seen the first half. I was like, I'm not going to miss this, so I can't wait for the second half tonight. The Ben Affleck, Matt Damon film, The Rip. It's on Netflix. So
yeah, we have Netflix.
Entertaining, man. That so far is a fun ride. I can't wait to see how the second half of the movie plays out. But just an idea for you in case you're looking for something to do.
Yeah, I'll let her know and stuff. And yeah, thanks, Cy, again. And mediocre win.
I love that you're being more negative than me. Respect. Yeah. I like that. Good stuff.
But hey, overall though, okay, we got job done. Let's keep it moving forward. And good to see you again, Cy. Always great to see you. And let's go with let's go to the next one.
Always a pleasure, brother. Thank you, Bloomer, bringing in the positive vibes. Let's hear real quick before we bring Julian Bashir on the show, and then James, and that'll be it. And should be the show tonight. But I want to let's listen to another post-game press conference sounder. Let's listen to Draymond Green. He spoke to the press after the game. He had a fantastic performance tonight. Great shooting night. More specifically, from the three-point line, hitting 50% of his shots, dropping 20 points for the Warriors. So let's listen to Draymond Green. What's going on here? Hold on a second. Give me. Here we go. I got it dialed in now. All right. Here is Draymond after the Warriors' 20-point win over the Hornets.
At least 1-3, third time you guys have done it in a row. What was sort of working from deep, and how's that? Is that sort of sustainable, you think?
Yeah, they're kind of just leaving us open. They playing all five guys to take stuff out the game. So if you drove and kicked, everybody was shooting open threes, and it was great. We was able to knock them down. Make them pay for playing gimmicky defense.
Draymond, you called Buddy one of your top 5 teammates of all time. What was it like to see him be rewarded and get that opportunity and make the impact that he made tonight? And what can it maybe show other players as far as always staying ready like that?
It's important to stay ready in this league. Your number isn't always called in this league. That's just the way that it is. Usually in this league, you got probably 6 to 7 guys that's number's going to be called no matter what. There's 8 other guys on the team and possibly 10. It's just the reality of what we do. It's a numbers game. But when you stay professional, when you stay locked in, continue to get your work in, and your numbers called, you just want to always make sure you're ready for it. And, to Buddy's credit, he's been the exact same every day. Loud as hell, joking, smiling, walk in, energy fills the room. What's up to everybody? Nothing has changed for him. As much as he's been in the gym always, he's probably in the gym even more now, and so he stayed ready for the opportunity. And tonight, Jimmy going out the lineup right before the game, needed someone else to step up, and he did just that.
Will gets that start with Jimmy out. Just what do you think about how Will Rich kind of handled himself? I mean, it sounded like right before the game, he was like, "All right, you're starting." What do you think of that?
No one knew. Literally, we were walking in the huddle to draw up the plays to go tip off, and he said, "Will, you're in the starting lineup." And he responded. He was ready to go. He brought incredible energy. He's been like that all year. You know, when his number's called, he brings energy to the floor, makes smart plays, smart winning plays. You know, he was a game changer for us tonight. Must be the hair.
Dre, today you led the team in threes attempted and threes made. What about today that really just fell behind the arc?
Well, they put the big kid just in the middle of the paint. And so I want that big kid to know, you guard me like that, I'm going to shoot your face off. That's what we say.
He's talking about real quick here, the big kid he's referring to, because the Hornets did have an injury tonight. Their normal starting center, I forgot how you pronounce his name. Forgive me for that. I don't have his name in front of me. I'll pull it up. Let me pull it up. I don't want to be that disrespectful. The Hornets were missing their starting center. His name is Moussa Diabate. And Diabate's not a bad player. He's actually he's their leading rebounder. Is there primarily in terms of what he contributes, his defense is what particularly sticks out. But I think he was dealing with a sore shoulder, and so he missed the game. And so filling in for him was a guy I never heard of before until tonight, Ryan Kalkbrenner. He was the Hornets starting center tonight. And I think it was also Kalkbrenner's birthday. So unhappy birthday to you, Ryan Kalkbrenner, whose side note, let me just confirm that real fast. Was it today's birthday? Ryan Kalkbrenner. I think it's the first time I've ever seen that last name in my life. Kalkbrenner. Here he is. So Ryan Kalkbrenner, a rookie second round pick. He was picked 34th in the draft. And today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Ryan Kalkbrenner. And that's who Draymond is talking about. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. The reason why I'm so amused by this is Draymond, you could see it. If you were watching this game in the first quarter, Dre was talking mad shit to this guy. He was peeved. He felt disrespected because of how far back Kalkbrenner was playing him. And look, Draymond is not a notorious three-point shooter. He's not a bad three-point shooter, but he's not elite at it either. And teams typically sag off him defensively. But tonight he took it personally. And I've always advised or said this out loud, and take it as advice if you want, if you're connected in any way to another NBA team, don't piss this man off. Don't poke the bear. One of the dumbest things you could do in sports is rile up a great basketball player, especially a guy like him, like Draymond Green. It's dumb. Well, the Hornets did that. They poked the bear. He got pissed, and he went 4 for 8 from deep tonight. So that's what Draymond Green's talking about. Good job, Kalkbrenner. With that said, by the way, Ryan Kalkbrenner is having a pretty good season. It seems like a solid draft pick for the Hornets. Again, 34th in the draft, in this most recent draft, in the second round. Ryan Kalkbrenner. We'll see if he has a long NBA career, but he definitely irritated Draymond tonight, and that's what he's talking about.
And so, yeah. Also, I mentioned after last game that their coach played this gimmicky defense, and I had to make them pay, because I've seen coaches get fired for playing that defense, and it just doesn't work. So I'm gonna make that his reality if they play us enough. No, I'm just joking. I like Coach Lee. But yeah, I mean, I have to find a way to keep the defense honest. You know, if I don't keep the defense honest, then that just allows them to load up on Steph even more. And it doesn't allow our offense to flow properly if I don't keep them honest. And so, you know, it was a little egregious. So I just had to let them fly. And it was good to hit 4 of 8.
Thank you. Also, you post-game interview described Al Horford as a Zaza Pachulia type player on steroids. Can you extrapolate a little more?
Well, no, he's not Zaza type player. I was just more so talking about guys that when you're on the floor with them, for me, you know, I'm always everybody's eyes on the defensive end. I always try to be our best communicator on the defensive end. But in doing that, especially when I'm at the 5, I can't take as many chances because you have to anchor the defense. What I was explaining out there was more so when I'm out there with
other anchors, guys that can anchor a defense, then it allows me to play free safety. You know, it allows me to go and muddy something up that a guy's trying to get to. It allows me to roam sometimes. You know, I can see a play and I can just act on it, as opposed to if I'm the 5 and I see the play, can't always just act on it, because if I act on it, who's now got the rim? When I'm in with a guy like Bogut, Zaza, Al, Loon, and they just read the play, and I go and they just slide right over and fill in, it changes my game from a defensive perspective for the better, you know, in my opinion. And so that's more so that I was playing that. But hell no, don't give Zaza that much credit. He's not Al.
Thank you.
No doubt.
And you know Dre is so happy that Big Al is playing well, man. It makes his life night and day a difference. The Zaza Pachulia reference is funny, though. Zaza Pachulia, who was awesome as the Warriors center, but he did not space the floor. I think the comparison between Zaza and Al Horford stops in terms of just they're just two big galoots. Beyond that, they're very different players.
How would you characterize the rhythm that Brandon is in right now?
He's playing really well. He is being aggressive. He's taking what the defense gives him, and he's pushing the tempo. And, you know, we always talk to him about pushing the pace. You come in the game, change the pace up for us. And when the shot's there, be aggressive and take those shots. Get downhill, look for your shot, look to make plays for other people. And he's really figuring it out. You know, he's settled into his role, and he's been tremendous for us off the bench over the last month. You know, he's been playing his best basketball of the season. So, you know, I always talk about it takes time to find the roles. And when also, no one ever talks about how other people missing can impact someone else. You know, and so you got Melt out, you got Al out. How does that impact other people? It does, you know, and so now you're just seeing those lineups come together more, which is allowing everyone individually to do what it is that they do best. And it's kind of fitting and falling in place for us.
Draymond, you've always been a student of the history of the game. I'm curious, having played with Steph for as long as you have. Steph is Steph. Dell had a hell of a career. Seth has carved out his own niche, his own lane. What do you think the family's impact has been on the game, the greater game itself?
Well, I think, like you said, Steph is obviously Steph, but Dell is one of the pioneers. Like he has that respect amongst. That's a disciple of Dell Curry, you know, and so just what you've continued to give to the game.
The Currys.
And so happy that I've gotten the opportunity to be teammates.
Successful lately, you know, they get to within 3 points. I think Draymond, you know, Steve talked about how the depth of this team has really been one of the successful, or one of the reasons why you guys have been successful lately. You know, they get to within 3 points. I think it was 82-79. You guys go on a 20-7 run, kind of take back control of the game. And you have a guy like Melton who just is the spark and the catalyst of that. And just talk about his presence and what he's meant so far. And did you guys envision this even after when you guys had him last season for only 6 games?
Yes. You know, spoke about it before, just how our season went kind of way left when he got hurt last year. He was such a good fit, which is why he was one of our top choices this summer. Like, we immediately were trying to get him back here, you know, because we knew the importance of his role and who he is, the basketball player he is, and what he would bring to this team. And he's been exactly that since he's gotten back from injury. So it's definitely what we expected. Do you expect a guy to be this good coming off that injury that fast? I don't know that that's the case, but he is exactly who we thought he was. And he's bringing that on a nightly basis. And
Oh, I didn't mean to shut it down. I'm sorry. Oh, it stopped right there. Okay. So it ended there. The last question pertaining to our FanDuel player of the game, DeAnthony Melton, having a fantastic performance tonight. The resurgence of Melton continues. And speaking of resurgence, Julian Bashir, how you doing? You've
going on?
to the show. How's your Saturday night?
It's going well. I'm super excited. What a great win. We're really turning the corner. Championship level team. It's nothing but smooth sailing from here. Latasha, I want to say I love you, girl. She brought up a great point. She said that Draymond Green was just hitting his shots because he's usually open.
Correct.
And that goes to a shout out to Armando. Armando, you're very smart. I don't know if maybe you should be a scouting for this team and come with the plays, because the lie that we have as Warriors right now that ESPN and others are saying is that Warriors generate the second most open jump shots in the league. And so what we have to ask ourselves is that because of the system, Steph Curry's gravity, or the fact that the teams know that we have players like Draymond Green, GP2, that the other day you brought up that he has the worst or gravity in the league.
Correct.
So are we generating the second most jump shots, or do teams understand they only have to guard about 2 to 3 players and they can live with the rest? So yeah, Draymond Green, he hit his shots tonight. So I'm kind of like in a middle of what to talk about, because to be honest with you, Cy, I really don't care about these wins because there's so many more. Yeah, there's so many more interesting things that are happening. But I would say every time I watch the team, I say that Moody has to go. And yeah, he's had back-to-back good shooting games, but when he's not shooting, you see that he doesn't really do much else. While someone like Will Richard from the beginning of the season has shown us that he is he's an all-around player, and he plays best around stars. The only time that he has ever struggled is when he's been around like a bunch of role players that he's asked to be something as like a focal point. But if you put him against stars in a system, he's going to pick up tonight 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 11 points. He's just cutting. A great defense. I love that dunk, even though he doesn't have a good vertical. But when he screamed, I'm very glad that the refs did not call a technical on that. But yeah, you want to see that passion from him. And I believe with the resurgence of DeAnthony Melton, Moody is expendable. We have way too many guards, and everything that I see Will Richard do is what I would like Moses Moody to do when he's not having a hot shooting night. I'll pause for a second and like Cyrus, because sometimes I might talk too long. And
No. You're rolling. I have nothing to add to that.
You need to jump in. This is your show too, Cy. It's just something.
You're good. You're going to keep going. Believe me, if I feel like there's anything I should add, or I jump in. I'll let you know. But you're good.
So the most interesting thing about this team is that I would say that let's be positive. Our system, if we have high IQ people and great shooters, we can win middle of the pack teams, and we can look good at it. So what I am looking towards is how can we uplift this? How can we be competitive? Because one thing that I'll disagree with Armando when you bring him on, because I completely understand what he's saying, is that like we should probably take that this draft is really deep, and it is deep. I watched the video the other day, and yeah, there's about 4 to 5 Cooper flag level players there, and even the bottom of the draft will still be good as well. But so tanking is not an option. So the only thing that we can look at is like how can we elevate the team. I think that's why we say MPJ. Whether he's going to push us over the edge or not, it'll still be better than having a player making $22 million sitting on the bench. And so yeah, I believe Moody needs to go. Hield needs to go. Here's a funny thing. Did any of you in the chat, or did you guys see Hield had a great first half, and with 1.7 seconds left to go, he tries to go for a steal in the full court, and he completely just shrugged his shoulders. Okay, and I think it might have been Miles Bridges to shoot that full court shot. And like these are NBA players. They practice this.
That was a jaw dropper, by the way. You're referring to it was at the end of the first half. Miles Bridges just casually chucking a 70-footer that went right in. Like everybody was stuck. And the Warriors were about to go into the locker room with a 15-point lead, and it turns into 12, but it's still comfortable. But
I was kind of, for joke's sake, it would have been interesting or funny if we lost by less than 3 points, and Buddy making that bonehead play would have been the difference, but we blew them out. So for me, I think we just need to consolidate this team. Buddy Hill, Moses Moody, and let's see. I want Trace Jackson Davis to get on a new team. And this is why I say don't trade for like Daniel Gafford, because
they won't.
Yeah, well, when you see Trace Jackson Davis play, I think he led the league in field goal percentage his first or second year, one of those. But he is the same player as Daniel Gafford. He shoots a high percentage. He dunks the ball. He runs. He plays great defense. If you play him over 20 minutes, he's going to get you double-digit rebounds. And I think that if you're looking for a non-3-point athletic center and you don't see that you have that on your bench, get rid of him. I would like to see him a part of a deal just so he can get some playing time and get his career. And that leads to another point. A lot of people that say that, Kuminga should have some humility. We as fans don't look at these players as human beings.
Real quick, Julian, sorry to interrupt you, but for the people who actually are saying that, what has Kuminga done that represents a lack of humility? Like wanting to just play, and speaking out over mistreatment, that makes you an arrogant person. I don't agree with that sentiment. So if anyone who thinks he has been humble, we can agree to disagree. I think he comes from the most humble of roots. Mm-hmm. Certainly I would say among all the players on this team, he probably grew up with the most humble roots of anyone. I could be mistaken on that. I haven't thought about this too long, but he grew up in poverty in the Congo. Witnessed the Civil War growing up. He didn't grow up in wealth. And again, he's not speaking out in any manner that represents arrogance or an aloof nature. I don't agree with that. If people are saying that.
Well, you see the difference. So Americans, such as Isaiah Thomas and other players, they would say, even Draymond Green, he said he's handling it better than I would.
Yeah.
And so when someone says like, oh, he should have came in that game that he was asked to, or be humble, he is actually being so professional and so he's respecting authority. He's like Shaq. He doesn't like his general. He doesn't like the captain, but I'm going to respect the organization and the hierarchy and not cause a scene. And he's coming in. And so what I was going to say before is when they say he should be humble, Steve Kerr is potentially ruining this kid's career earnings and reputation. And so sitting him out and messing with his minutes for the next 5 years, we don't here's the thing, you can agree with me or not if he's a star or whatever, but we don't know. And he believes that I need the chance to be that. And so Kerr is costing him maybe $300 million in the future. If and just for the,
you're right. At a minimum, even if you wanted to do a lowball guesstimate at $100 million, I think realistically is what, because to me the closest comparison of another player in his draft would be, I think, Jalen Green, who got a contract largely based off potential. When he was with the Rockets, and that deal I think was like 3 years, $140 million or $4. He got close to $150 million guaranteed after his rookie deal, and that's what Kuminga at a bare minimum I think would have gotten if he had just got an opportunity. So yeah, and despite that, we've never once heard anything public from him. I would be livid. I would wholeheartedly be on the Isaiah Thomas train of, you're going to get a Spreewell out of me for this, man. $100 million this guy cost Jonathan Kuminga. It's crazy.
Because we like, I joke around sometimes saying like, oh, money's the only thing that's important. I'm joking, but also if I was a player, money would be the most important thing to me, because Robert Ory said it himself. They asked, would you rather have 7 rings or would you rather be an all-star Hall of Famer that made $500 million? He said he's giving up the 7 rings every single time.
He said that?
Yes, like it was a while ago. I'm pretty sure it's online. But we as fans, we think these trophies or rings are the valuable things because it gives us memories for our cities and states and players that we like. But rings don't buy you home, don't feed your family. It doesn't set up your children for generational wealth. So what Kerr is doing right now is like I still think Kuminga is very salvageable, but it's potentially
big time.
he's risking a lot, and that's something that they think about. And speaking of, I remember Isaiah Thomas, the Celtic player, the little one, like not the Hall of Famer legend. You know what I'm talking about?
No, who?
No, the second Isaiah Thomas. The
little guy.
Yeah.
What about him?
Think about this, chat.
Okay.
When people say, "Oh, Kuminga should be humble and play and do it for the team, do it for your teammates, do it for your guys," Isaiah Thomas played one day after his sister died and played through a torn
hip
muscle in his hip.
Yeah, it was his hip issue.
Right. Yeah, right before his contract
He lost. There's a few examples of folks who lost a shitload of money. That
he lost
Isaiah
around
Thomas is
$200
one.
million.
Boogie Cousins is another one. He was set to make like a supermax contract extension, and then he blew the Achilles and never regained the form, and that's that.
And here's a question people to ask themselves: do you think that the player that's loyal to the team and pushing themselves, that the team's going to say, you know what, we're still going to give you that $200 million? No, Isaiah Thomas only made $10 million after he got injured. And those are
no one's handing out money in this world. You're absolutely right. It's a minor miracle Kuminga even is getting 22 and change this year. And then if that team option next year is exercised, and all indications are it will, unless he signs an entirely new contract with whatever team he's with next, I mean, that's not even guaranteed, but he's likely going to get that 24 million. But you're right. I've always said this, man, at least professionally speaking, one of, if not the hardest, there's two things to me on a professional level that are so difficult, probably the most difficult things to do, period. Because, and I'm not listing things like nuclear engineering, because you could go to school for that. You could probably, it might take you a while, but you could probably eventually become a nuclear engineer if you focused and dedicated all your time and energy to that field of study. But two things, regardless of how much schooling you get, like two things are just so hard, damn near impossible to achieve professionally. One is making people laugh. And that's why, like, the satirists of this world, the comedians of this world, I have the utmost respect for them. It's a huge reason why I can't stand PC culture. Just let these folks talk, man. These are the truth tellers of the world, and these are the folks making people laugh and forget about the rigor of life, man. Give them a pass. And if you've ever tried to make people laugh yourself, you probably understand it's not easy. It is a very unique, special skill. The other one is convincing someone to give you money. And that's sales, right? Like, and a lot of it depends on the product you're selling, right? If something tells me if you're a pharmaceutical salesperson, selling drugs that people need, it probably is not that hard. But generally speaking, to just convince someone to give their hard-earned money to you, it's not easy. All right, there is nothing easy about that. If you've succeeded in whatever business you're running or whatever venture you're doing, congratulations, respect, because you're accomplishing something that is very hard in this world. So no one's going to hand these people money, and that includes JK, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, and
do you have anything to add to that? Because that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong on that, but this is just my life experience.
Well, this kind of leads to another point. I encourage everyone in the chat, even the Kuminga haters, anyone, everyone, watch Gilbert Arenas' podcast. He has a 30-minute video take on the Kuminga trade situation, and they break down the history. They break down the perspective. They break down the X's and O's. And so this kind of leads to things that you said, well, the front office, like they don't value, like Gilbert Arenas, he said, they didn't ruin Kuminga's trade value. They ruined their trade value, which means these teams, they know how good Kuminga is, but they also know that you can't keep him. And if they keep him, I think the Players Association should get involved if they decide, like, oh, we're going to keep him and hold him hostage even more. So they know his value, but they also understand the value that the Warriors have told the league. And they said, okay, well, Kuminga is an 11-point per game guy that can't play over second rounders. So we're not going to give you anything other than expiring contracts and like something that could be a rotational piece. Doesn't and they say, oh, but he can start for us, so that they're not going to do the Warriors in a favor. And so I'm on the troll train right now as far as getting him to the Lakers. I know it's unrealistic because it's the same division, but we also never would have thought that AD would have been traded for Luka in the middle of the night for 1 first-round pick. And I would say this, like when there's a bunch of uncool heads in the room, a lot of chaos, people make stupid decisions. And if Joe Lacob was like the report you brought up, if he got upset because Kuminga wouldn't go in the other day, now you're out on him. Okay, now we're stirring up some kind of irrationality. You forgot about the past, and if you're seeing that the teams are not coming in with the offers that you think you should, because you've told the league he's 11 point per game, inefficient shooter, turnover prone, and he can't play over second round picks. So that's all you deserve. And the Warriors,
it reminds me a lot. My mind keeps going back to this last summer. And Anthony Slater wrote a fantastic piece when he was covering that 3-month standoff. 3 effing months. I'm still that's if this is your business like me, that set anybody covering the Warriors back. So that was a painful summer. Even if you're a fan, it was just frustrating and painful. But I go back to this one Slater story when he was talking about the negotiations and Joe Lacob asking Jonathan Kuminga, and I can't remember if they were in Vegas or where the meeting was held, but Lacob, if the story is accurate and no one pushed back on it, written by Anthony Slater for ESPN, Joe Lacob asks Jonathan Kuminga, "Do you want to be here?" And then Kuminga responds with, "Do you want me here?" And I feel like we're still debating this. I feel like there's still like it's like Joe is if that report is true. It's like Joe Lacob is basically, because of one game where Kuminga decided not to go in because of Steve Kerr's treatment. Side note, that game against a mighty OKC team where Kuminga was not going to look good, having been DNP'd for weeks before that moment. I feel like we're still there. It's like we're still at a point where Joe's wondering, Kuminga, do you want to be here? And Kuminga's still looking at the team going, do you want me here? Like, I mean, you don't play me, so... It's ridiculous. Just trade this. Just move on, man. You effed up, Joe. I love you as an owner, largely because again, you turned a franchise that I never thought in my life would be anything other than a basement dweller into a dynasty. Right? You were the man at the top. Mad respect, and I see his vision. Like I get it. I don't get what Kerr does half the time. I get what Joe Lacob's thinking pretty much all the time, but. It's under this nightmare, this mess is under his watch. And for all the good he's done that I'm grateful for, this is not something to be proud of. This is not something to that you're going to be writing about in your autobiography as something that is a good story here. You butchered this, man. You butchered this by letting Steve Kerr do whatever the hell he wants. That dude runs amok with no checks and balances, no accountability, no consequences. He literally does whatever he wants. Like name one time where like there has been punishment levied against this guy, or there has been at least some sort of public admonishment about this guy. I hope I said that right. It never happens. So,
the same thing with the players.
You got to do something about this. You lost. Either if you're going to stick with Kerr, you lost this battle. You lost. You got to move on, man. You just like Kuminga's value is virtually nothing. Every other team knows the Warriors have no leverage in these trade talks. They all know that if they really want Kuminga, they just have to wait. They just have to wait. That's it. Like they don't have to give up shit to get him. He could be available as soon as this offseason, if not next offseason. So you have no leverage if you're the Warriors. You've enabled this head coach who did good things for you once upon a time, but it's now 4 years of ineptitude and below standard basketball play, mediocrity, and you just keep enabling it. So this is totally on Joe at this point.
And we can't say that,
man. This is your team. This is your house, and you're letting all these divisions run amok. It's sad, dude. He has to move on. Like he has to. It's otherwise you're gonna get criticism from folks like me, like who typically have sided with him because I get the logic of his actions. I don't get this. I don't get this at all, man. The only part of this that's somewhat understandable is Stephen Curry's wishes are to be granted because this is ultimately Steph's house. You're not going to damage that relationship. And Steph seems to be all in on Steve, but at the same time, we all know Stephen Curry's a grown man. If you move on from Steve Kerr, Steph is not going to like wilt in a corner, sucking his thumb in the fetal position. Like, what do I do? He's going to show up to work the next day and play basketball like he's always done. The world will keep rotating. Life will keep going on. Yet in Joe's mind, for whatever reason, he acts like Steve Kerr's this indispensable asset, and that if for any reason he levies consequences against them, that Steph's going to revolt. I don't. If that's what he's thinking, I don't know why he would think that. Steph is the consummate pro, man. Like, Steph would show up the next day. Steph's going to show up no matter what. He wants to be a Warrior for life. He's not going anywhere. You're not going to get a trade demand from Stephen Curry, and you've enabled his head coach to basically just run things how he wants to, no matter what, and you have this mess in the process. This mess, Joe, is now on your hands. Do something about this. This is stupid. It is stupid keeping this kid on your roster at this point. Trade him. If it's got to be for a Malik Monk, and I know you don't want contracts past 2027, at this point, you screwed up. Not to mention your plan for a clean slate in 2027. It's not going to result in jack shit. This organization does not recruit free agents typically. Are there exceptions? Sure. Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant being two huge ones. Those are exceptions. The rule is free agents look at the Warriors and go, I'll pass. I'm going to LA. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to the title contender. The Warriors are no longer that team with the draw of title contention. So whatever you think is going on in 2027 that you're fantasizing about, good luck with that. But for now, this is a shit show. This is embarrassing. Like, and his inactivity, and especially with that report, now that I know that he's again, who knows, man? Nick Friedel and these guys, they're such huge Steve Kerr fans. I mean, they have such a huge bias when it comes to Kerr, but they did report that. And I feel like if Joe didn't agree with it, he would push back. He did not. So if you're down on Kuminga, trade him. What is the point of messing with this kid? It's like, it's immoral to keep him around.
Cyrus, you know what I think happened, which is one of the most fatal mistakes in business sometimes, is when you become friends with your employees for too long of a period.
Yes. And
so you mentioned draft picks. One, Steph Curry, he took this, well, not alone, but the team was $315 million before Steph Curry. Now it's worth around $10 billion. That's why I think, you owe him to say, okay, let's trade a draft pick or two, because we can, or not me, but the team itself or organization, like, this is our thank you that we're going to try to give you the most. Like, for example, you wouldn't give up a draft pick in Kobe's last few years because of the injury and just him not being a shell of himself. Steph Curry is not a shell of himself. He still is, putting up MVP-like numbers. So yeah, if a person gets you a $9 billion increase in your investment, you can give us some draft picks. But that goes back to my friends and family in business. It seems like Joe Lacob became really close friends with the players, really close friends with Steve Kerr. And now we're in a situation where it's toxic. You mentioned something, as far as accountability. Kevin Durant left this team because he said the fight between him and Draymond is okay. That happens all the time. What bothered him is that nobody did anything about it. There wasn't a team meeting. Draymond didn't get punished or suspended or anything like that, anything detrimental to the team. Not that he was calling for it, but he said that it seemed like they just swept it under the rug and didn't address it. And same thing with the pool punch. Why wasn't Draymond Green suspended? Why wasn't something done? And
that was a little tricky. That part sucked largely. Ring night screwed that whole thing up. The ring night, and they couldn't reschedule it. Ring night just effed that whole situation up. But I feel you. You could have come up with something, right? You could have suspended him for the second game. Or
was there a fine? There had to be some kind of
I don't
awareness.
recall if Draymond
Yeah.
actually faced consequences. I don't think he did. I don't think anything happened. I think they just tried to sweep it under the rug for a whole year, and it didn't work. And it created a division in the locker room. You had a lot of players looking at the situation going, wow, that was the first time like the concept of Steve Kerr having favorites started to emerge. We never really got that gist from Steve until that moment. And then he took sides.
Yeah.
It was obvious Steve Kerr took sides.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the end to me. Otherwise, but I'm totally look and making things even worse. You brought up the idea of trading or attaching picks to Kuminga in a deal. This is how nightmarish it's gotten, and this is why it's a sunk cost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, like, let's say for the sake of argument, we're talking about Larry Markkinen, aka Larry Markkinen, and Johnny Kuminga.
Mike Lowry. I'm Mike Lowry.
That always makes me laugh. But let's say we're talking about Larry Markkinen. Every team knows the Warriors are in a desperate position. So what was once maybe a fantasy of maybe we can talk them down to 2 first-rounders and maybe a pick swap. Now, if the Warriors approach the Jazz and they're like, hey, is that Larry Markkinen for Johnny Kuminga and Moody and Pods can we talk about that? You know what Danny Ainge is going to tell them? I want 5 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't budging. I want 5. That's what every team is going to do to the Warriors right now. If they sit there and try to get equal value for Kuminga, every one of these front offices are gonna retort with, no, I want 3 of your picks. I want 4 of your picks. Oh, you think that's outrageous? Go call someone else. Good luck. That's the position the Warriors have put themselves in because of this lunacy. You're getting nothing back for him. You're screwed.
And the thing is, and some people don't want to accept it, is that players, coaches, and other teams, you can hear the announcers, they're also sticking up for Kuminga. So they are purposely going to go out their way to say, no, Warriors, we're going to make this situation as bad as possible, because those that have like a conscience with them, they said, okay, well, you messed us up, and we're not going to give you anything. You've shown us what you think of the guy. We're not going to unless there's like that elevated relationship between one team and the other. But going back to what I said, Lacob and Kerr, like now since Lacob and Kerr are friends, when things started getting shaky, Lacob couldn't make a decision on Kerr. And let's be very clear, this offense, Kuminga not going in the game, but the last 2 to 3 years, this is a fireable offense, especially right now, because if I am an owner and I pay someone $22 million and I say, here is an asset, like if I have a child or a business and I get them a brand new computer or whatever it is that costs money out of my pocket, and you do not use it and you devalue what I've given you, then you're the one to blame. And I'm looking at the books. And I said, okay, well, from last quarter 1 to this quarter 1, we're negative 100 million. Why is that? You're not doing a job. So like if you see as Kerr being the CEO, so that's the fireable offense. And one thing, like you said, either we have to add a pick to Kuminga to get something of value, or if you want to pick Golden State Warriors, trade Kuminga to the Pistons, which will be a low pick, and get Tobias Harris in an expiring contract, because that's like something you could play, but at least like the expiring deal is some worth, and you get a late first round pick. Or how about this? Trade with the Lakers and get 1 pick from them and get trash contracts. Gabe Vincent, he played with Butler. And if you want Vanderbilt, 5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 30%. If you think Kerr's going to play him, sure. But I think even Rui Hachimura is off the table. Like it's either Gabe Vincent and maybe Maxi Kleber. You can get back in him, but he's gone down as far as his 3-point shooting. So he's just like maybe a little bit more athletic post. But right now it's either if you want to pick, trade him to a team that you normally would not, or if you want to upgrade your roster, you have to attach a pick to him. But are you doing some trade? Which one are you going to pick, Cy?
Hold on. Oh, I see. I can't share audio. That's fine. Well, you brought up the Lakers, and you said I'm just curious what. I mean, am I muted? No. If there's any silver lining to Kuminga at this point in terms of trades, it's that he is making enough money where another team has to send back something of that value. So if we're talking about the Lakers, for example, because and let's say the premise that you're laying out that Rui Hachimura or someone like him would not be available anymore because the Warriors don't have much leverage. Well, let's see who else they can get.
So, even though I disagree on this on the value of Kuminga, I agree with Latasha when she said, if you do not think anything of him, then trade him in your division, trade him in your conference, and get rid of the man if you don't think anything of him, because like he's not a threat.
Well,
that's what the Warriors
doesn't think like
that. That's what I'm saying. But that's what the Warriors have told the league based on their actions. Actions speak louder than words. So if you don't think he's anything, then stop holding all this like, oh, he has to go to the Eastern Conference, whatever it may be, because what you've communicated is that you think that he's below trash. You think that he's below second round picks like Guy Santos, Will Richard, and whoever else. Like he's worse than Anthony Lamb. So there you go.
So Rui's on an expiring contract. I didn't know that. That does change things a little bit. I feel like, is Gabe Vincent healthy? Like, has he been playing this year?
Well, he's played tonight.
What about Maxi Kleber?
Yeah, I have it up. So Maxi Kleber, he played 21 minutes, had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 1 out of 2 from 3 tonight. Gabe Vincent, 23 minutes, 3 points on 1 for 6 shooting. The Lakers lost by it was 132 to 116. They lost, so you could do the math.
Portland, yeah. Well, I mean, look. So the Lakers, you can make some deals with, but again, I don't know if that would happen. I don't know.
Bear with me because I posted something in your last video in the comment section. I'm going to look for it right now. It was a 3-team trade that got everyone what they wanted, and let's see if I can.
Do more of the teams.
It's the Nets, Lakers, and Warriors. So I'm going to find one of your last videos.
So this is a Michael Porter Jr. trade?
Yeah, and so everyone gets what they want. So I'm going to find my comment.
But let me ask you this before you continue on. What's stopping the Lakers from just cutting the Warriors out and getting Michael Porter Jr. for themselves and doing a trade straight up with Brooklyn?
Because I don't think that the reports are is that Nets won draft picks and some deals. So I don't think that they have the I guess like the player for it. But let's see.
Well, I don't know. I think they do actually. The Lakers have all of their first round picks except for next year. So and again, I've read plenty of reports that the Lakers won Michael Porter Jr. I'm just putting myself in the position of other teams, and if I'm the Lakers, and you're sitting here telling me like that the Warriors could reach out and say, hey, why don't we orchestrate a three-team trade and you get Kuminga and then we get Michael Porter Jr. If you're the Lakers, why are you not just cutting out the middleman and getting Michael Porter Jr. for yourself? Michael Porter Jr. would solve a lot of teams' issues. It's not just the Warriors, which is one of many reasons why I never thought that was very realistic. It's if he's going to get moved, Golden State's not the only team calling them up for him. Why would the Lakers not just cut out the middleman? I don't know, but that's just me. Maybe I'm being too cynical.
Well, it's about what they value. So, I haven't seen any reports that they have been keeping an eye on MPJ, and I've been watching a lot of Lakers podcasts just to see what their feeling is about this news about that they're interested in Kuminga. So, they want a 3-and-D wing, and they might have the same trepidation that some people fans have about MPJ here. Is that he's not a proven winner. He has a bad back, can't play defense. Maybe that's how the Lakers look at them. But apparently they've been monitoring Kuminga, and I should also tell people in the chat that Kuminga does play defense. I don't know where that narrative came from. Maybe he's not the best team defender, but if you put him in front of somebody, he shut down Jalen Jalen Green plenty of times. He gave Anthony Edwards fits.
Kevin Durant.
He even shut down Kawhi Leonard. If you remember one of that, he scored, but very inefficiently. So he's a great one-on-one defender, and I think that's what the Lakers are looking for, is someone to spearhead that defense and be an athlete, because they don't have the athletes to keep up with some teams. So real quick, the trade that I saw was Lakers received Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield, Day'Ron Sharpe, Tyrese Martin. The Brooklyn Nets receive DeAndre Ayton, Moses Moody, Rui Hachimura, and Maxi Kleber, and they get 3 first-round picks, but one from Golden State, one from the Lakers, and the other one will be a pick swap. So either that's from LA or the Warriors doing a pick swap.
The biggest reason why I don't agree with that trade, or I don't think it's plausible, is I don't think the Lakers want to move on from DeAndre Ayton, and I don't think the Lakers would be interested in involving the Warriors. I've read the reports that they like Kuminga, but I've also read reports they also like Michael Porter Jr., and I think if they had their choice of the two, they're going to go with Michael Porter Jr., I would guess. I also could be wrong on that, but I do know the Lakers don't want to give up Ayton, because that's one of the parts of their team they're happy with. They don't have a backup center. Is there another center coming in that deal? You mentioned some names that I'm not familiar with.
No, that was it. And the last ones were just MPJ and another player to the Warriors. So that was the whole thing. I would do some pushback, because I have heard that JJ Redick is seeing what everyone has always said about DeAndre Ayton: low motor, not a rebounder, airhead on defense sometimes. So I think that's a narrative that's going around right now. And I see JJ Redick's press conferences, and he says that he pretty much just gets into the team, and he's hinting at low effort. He does say, we have no one that can shoot, but he's sick of, I guess, blown assignments, and maybe some of that is LeBron blown assignments. But here's a funny thing. Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you ever watched Bronny James play, but if he recently he kills in the G League. Every time he goes to the G League, he kills it. Do you think if Bronny James was on this team, the Warriors, that he would be getting 15 minutes a night, at least 10 minutes?
Probably not. I can't see. I can't see that. Because if Kerr's going to play a guy like Bronny, like LJ Cryer should be playing right now, but Kerr, it's a tough sell on Kerr to get young players with very limited experience a run. So no, I could be again. You're just asking for my opinion. These are opinions.
Pod's got that experience out the womb, so
he's the exception. He's the exception, and that's one of many disturbing things about the Steve Kerr tenure at this stage, is the fact that the only young player he's entrusted is Johnny Tryhard. Look, the being a tryhard, being a hustle guy, it's great, but we're talking about the professional level of sports, the peak. This is there's nothing higher than this. And being a tryhard, being a hustle guy, it's cute. It's great, but it's nowhere near the most important thing. You need athleticism, you need skill sets, you need playmaking abilities, and if you're a great hustle guy, that's icing on the cake, but that's not something that should be one of the things you brag about as a player in the NBA. This ain't college, man. This ain't, are we giving out participation ribbons? Is that what we're talking about here? This is the NBA, man. The hustle shit. It's cute, whatever.
Well, so I want to leave you with this as some perspective, and maybe people can have their expectations of what's going to happen. The Warriors, and this is just off the top of my head, they have not made any good trade moves or handled their almost free agents in a what's the word I'm looking for? They've botched it all. So I'll go back to, I know Kelly Oubre, people think it's a joke, but Kelly Oubre was a really good asset, and the Warriors should have traded him mid-season. They didn't, and let him walk for free. Then they traded for things for example, the Poole trade. Poole still had value, and instead of getting Kristaps Porzingis, which there is a report that the Wizards were offering that, they decided to get for Chris Paul. Some of it you understand because Chris Paul was expiring, but also it wasn't thinking long term for the for the team. Like, imagine if Kristaps was on this team playing center. So that was a bad trade. And also they threw in Ryan Rollins. Bad trade. They also traded I remember something else. Like, even the Dennis Schroeder trade is like, okay, let's see if this works out.
That's what I was just thinking of. Yeah, that
And
was
then,
dumb as F, dude. Yeah.
And even like we and I know there's one I'm missing that was just a bad kind of a investment for the Warriors, but the only one that they really got something for was that they didn't need to. Kevin Durant did them a favor. That's what I meant. Kevin Durant did them a favor. Kevin Durant said, "Okay, I'll do a sign and trade with you."
Big time.
And then they got D'Lo, and then they were able to flip that for Wiggins. So that wasn't some mastermind behind the scenes doing something for them. They let it go. And even the Butler, like, we like Butler, he's coming on, but you only traded what I believe.
But it did take some, but I did take some vision, by the way, Julian, to ultimately make that trade work, because outside of and I'm not trying to brag here, please forgive me for this, but my credibility is my bread and butter, and telling folks that, we get it right here is part of the sell. Dude, and thankfully there's evidence. The network Believe was making graphics of this. I was pushing for Wiggins months before his name was even popping up in these deals. And this is one of many reasons why, dude, I miss Bob Myers. I feel like every idea I had in my head for what this team should be doing, there was Myers actually doing it. It was beautiful, man. And Andrew Wiggins was one of them. Was it a roll of the dice to a certain extent? Yes. Do you remember, by the way, when the Warriors briefly had D'Angelo Russell? You had a lot of fans, man, who did not want the team to trade him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
You can't listen to this. You can't listen to everybody, dude. Everyone's gonna have opinions and
he
stuff.
I think he did. Did he score 50 on the Warriors? I think he had a 50-point game on the Warriors. But yeah, he was just always a point guard that can't jump, that can't play defense, and this is why he can't get any playing time.
He's
on
inconsistent.
the Mavericks right now, and he's not that old. And so, but that goes to the point where I brought up the other day that Andrew Wiggins, you got to remember that he was a destroyed asset as far as reputation. So that's why I do have faith that if MPJ did come here, it would see the positives that, hey, he's only 27, he's 6'10", long wingspan, he is averaging 26.
I'm gonna push back on that, Julian. Andrew Wiggins did not have a reputation for being a meathead. He did not routinely say dumb shit. He did not he played on an awful team, and he put up numbers. Like, Wiggins was putting up big numbers as a shooting guard there, but they weren't winning, right? And the Jimmy Butler part of it really exposed him and Cat, and that experiment ultimately didn't work. But the talent was always there for Wiggins, and one of the biggest reasons why I push back on Michael Porter Jr. is, as long as Steve Kerr is the head coach of this team, chemistry is vitally important. And I just don't see how someone like Michael Porter Jr. fits in this locker room, is what I'm trying to say. Wiggins was soft-spoken. Wiggins did not like challenge people. Wiggins was not opinionated. Michael Porter Jr. is the complete opposite of that. Dude goes on podcasts and shits on the WNBA. I mean, that's like Joe Lacob, like that. The Valkyries are his baby now, and people think that he's gonna trade for Michael Porter Jr. Not to mention like the price tag of that, future first-round picks. There is no chance in hell that's happening, man. None.
Oh,
Sorry.
The trade that I forgot was that we reacquired Gary Payton from the Portland Trailblazers and gave up James Wiseman. I think that we didn't keep Sadiq Bey. Was it Sadiq Bey part of like that as well?
It was. What happened is, and again, this is where Bob Myers, it was the beginning of the end. The primary reason they let GP2 go in the first place, and side note, this program was one of, I don't know how many. I have no idea how other people felt, but I was livid about that. I thought GP2, after they won that 2022 championship, was part of the long-term plan, and they had the money to keep him. That's the crazy part. But they ultimately, Bob Myers opted to let him go and walk because his vision was, all right, fine. Joe doesn't want to spend the extra money to keep GP2. At least I have Moses Moody in the wing, and at least I have Jonathan Kuminga in the wing. It's their time. They're going to get their run, and they're going to make up for the defense and all the little things that GP2 used to do. But Steve Kerr did not agree with that. Steve Kerr was like, I don't like these guys. I'm going to play Anthony Lamb. I'm going to play Ty Jerome. and it forced the team to trade to get GP2 back, and they lost Wiseman in the process, which was also partly a cost-cutting measure because James Wiseman is the number 2 pick in the draft. His rookie scale contract was very expensive. Like he was going to be owed, I think, something like $16 million if they brought him back for another year, and the Warriors were still in luxury tax hell. So $16 million was like times 7. It was some ridiculous amount. It was like James Wiseman's contract was really going to cost the team close to $100 million. And so they wanted to move on. But you're right. It was a 4-team trade where for like a brief moment, Sadiq Bey came to the Warriors and then was moved to Atlanta with all these picks and everything else, all these moving pieces. And then they brought GP2 back too little too late by that point. But anyways.
And one thing, so I don't want to be argumentative with you.
I don't care.
It's just more of a factual statement. And
All
so
right.
I know that MPJ has said, I haven't seen all the crazy things that he said. I know that there's a list. But when it comes to the WNBA thing, I did see that clip. And he was saying that middle school boys would beat a WNBA team. And I do agree because we have a precedent for it. Where a under
no one's
50
disagreeing, Julian. Do not understand the problem is saying that dumb opinion out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no need to say it. It's an obvious statement. People don't have to be Captain Obvious on issues that could offend a shitload of people. And
Okay,
Michael Porter Jr. and his family, man, they are dumb as rocks, dude.
Yeah.
His brother was the one in that gambling scheme. He's got another brother, I think, is in jail. The war. I'm telling you, I know you liked him as a player, and I know you think he'd be a good fit. Joe Lacob and this team have no interest.
Okay, so that's
not going to give up
that's
assets.
all right. So that's a great point. Where there's issues out there. I just wanted to hey, can we all have common sense that he shouldn't have said it, but it's a reality because I think in 2017 the national women's soccer team lost to under 15 boys 5-2. So there's a precedent. So I just want to make sure that we have some common sense. So he should have said it, but I think some NBA players do get upset. Like for example, Brittany Griner used to say that she would beat DeMarcus Cousins in 1-on-1, and I think that the men have to be
to him. I think
yeah, and it's the men okay, well,
that's
I have
a jest, dude. Like you're not offending an entire gender, you're not, which is half the planet. Like it's. There's levels to this, Julian, and the WNBA is a partner with the NBA and they're trying to grow. They're losing money annually. It was such a dumb thing to say, dude. Don't bite the hand that feeds. That's what Mike Porter did. And that's not the first comment. Like, if you really want me to do the research on a future show to give you the list of all the stupid shit he said over the years, which is lengthy, I can happily do that. My point is, like, Wiggins did not have a track record of saying dumb shit. Like, Michael Porter Jr. says controversial things. And again, his team is like 11-27 in the East. Mm-hmm. And I know he'd be like a piece here, but you're talking about taking a player out of an element where he's apparently happy. The Brooklyn Nets, I have no idea how they feel about it, but there's no inclination from any reports I've read that they want to move him. Right? I have you even read anything that they want to trade him? And so I haven't.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all because the more I start to understand geopolitics and business, it's all negotiating. So when people say that, this team or that politician, they said this, I was like, stop quoting what people say. It's negotiating tactics. Never take anything that anyone says face value as far as print. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, they said
that's fair. But Julian, here's my little slight pushback to that.
Yeah.
When you're an organization like the Brooklyn Nets and you have all these media people covering you and you have all these heads within the organization, you can't expect every single one of them to be lock and key with information, right? And you also have players who may or may not be involved. My point is, if there was an inkling of it, that something would have come out. Something would have come out at least insinuating, especially when you consider the fact that he is a trade target. Yeah. He's a name that a lot of teams are salivating over. But everything coming out of Brooklyn, an organization that in and of itself is not exactly known for being, the most well-run. Sean Marks has a bevy of mistakes on his resume. The owner has a massive list of mistakes and incompetency under his belt. They don't exactly come off as the organization that would be this elite a group in terms of keeping secrets and information in house. And the fact that nothing has come out from anywhere tied to that organization indicating that they're willing to move him. Look, I'm not sitting here saying that like it's a fact they're not going to move him, but that adds to me just being dissuaded by the idea, because what it tells me is that if you're a team like the Warriors who would want a Michael Porter Jr. and you're trying to get him from a team that is not wanting to move him, they have a shitload of leverage. They are in a position where they could ask for a lot, and the Warriors aren't going to give a lot. So it's kind of like a dead end. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. You are right that they haven't like outright said, like with the John Morant situation, we're looking for it. It's just been mostly rumors, such as there was an article that said it's a lock that MPJ will be traded, but then they also say that they're not looking to move him. But then there will be another article that will say that they are preparing for 2027, so they would like to get expiring contracts and draft picks now, so in 2027 they can be more competitive. So those are the three narratives that are out there with them. And do you have anyone else after me? I was just going to say that just to conclude, whatever happens with Kuminga, temper our expectations. It might be something that's completely out of blue field and ridiculous and not going to help the Warriors in the long term. And he might, I say do it to the Pistons. Like, get him to the East, get him on a winner. Don't do him dirty, and get Tobias Harris first pick and see what you can do there. But looking at the team, I still believe that we have a lot of great talent. Kerr I think Mike Dunleavy needs to, like you always say, take his toys away. And I think that we have players such as Will Richard and DeAnthony Melton that are coming on. GP2, I would love for him to stay, and I've always said it, be Udonis Haslem. Udonis Haslem never said, "Oh, play me." I think he played with like.
I don't think
5
he's
years.
saying that either, though. It's just Kerr loves him, and I think Steph loves him, and so
why does GP2 have a no trade clause when I guarantee no one
CBA.
else?
No, it's a CBA. It's not because he asked for it. It's because of his tenure in the NBA, the number of years under his belt, and the contract. It was a CBA thing where it automatically got triggered when Kuminga signed his deal. He also got a no trade clause, and the Warriors demanded he remove that as part of the deal. So they had to add additional verbiage to Kuminga's contract that circumvents the CBA giving him a no trade clause. They did not do that in GP2's case. It wasn't. I would feel. I hear what you're saying, and I would agree with the sentiment that GP2 is like asking for things. But he didn't ask for this one. It was just integrated automatically. It got triggered.
I'm going to agree with Chosen. He said we played JK. I'm thinking that we played him in the sense of not in playing on the court, but like he got played, which is they took that trade clause away and forced him to sign a team option. So he has no control over his future. And so I think that's one of the maybe attractive pieces of JK is that whomever he's traded to, they control next season. So even if he plays, if he gets traded and balls out, and say he averages 27 and 5 on 55% shooting, 38% for three, and he deserves like $35 million, it's like, nope, we have your team option. We're going to pick that up and we're going to discuss extension after that. So he just has to move on. But yeah, we need to trade Moody, not because he's bad. He's just redundant at the point. He's stealing minutes. So
I feel like the Moody sentiments depend entirely on the day. When Moody's shot isn't falling, you get all these people going, he's a bum, trade him. When the shot is falling, they're like, we love him. Moody's the best.
In business, you can't get emotional. You have to look at what's the health of the team.
Very fickle.
Like there's times where I say, oh, Moody's a great hustler. Oh, he got that steal. He's on fire. But then the offseason, I'm looking like we have so many players that can slide into that role. Like you signed DeAnthony Melton for that purpose. But Buddy Hield before he went haywire. And then now you have Will Richard. Like trade Moody while his value is high because his contract is low and someone might like him, because I believe that we're a player away. We're a player away. That's all I got to say.
That's fair. That's fair, man. I agree with you 100% there. Julian, always great to see you, brother. James is on the show. Thank you for waiting. I know it's been a long wait. And then we're going to get Kaeko, and then Shardal will wrap it up. How you doing, James?
Man, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You're good.
Good. Yeah, there was a wait about over 30 minutes, but no, I'm just playing.
I'm sorry.
But,
I'm sorry, brother. I go in chronological order. I promise.
No, I got you, Si. I'm just playing.
I know.
But yeah, I just got a few points to make.
Make them. I'll shut up.
And some slight pushbacks. But first, the reason why I'm enthused about what's going on is because every win is a win that pushes us toward the 6th or even the 5th seed. So even these wins that we're getting with these sorry teams, it's a win.
Agreed.
That's pushing us toward that 6th.
Agreed. And maybe, if you don't mind me interrupting for 1 second, what I feel like, because I'm looking at the standings right now, and the Warriors are still 2 games back in the loss column to Phoenix for the 7th seed.
Yes.
But what they are doing with these wins, maybe more importantly,
pushing us close to the Lakers.
Well, not just that. I mean, there's still 4 games back of the Lakers in the loss column and Houston, who both have 15 losses. They're actually closer in the loss column to the Timberwolves, only 3 games back there, and they're going to have 2 games in Minnesota coming up. What I was going to say, though, is the Warriors are creating distance between themselves and the 9 seed, because you have Portland, who's now 3 games back in the loss column, and the Clippers, incredibly, are now the 10 seed. They're officially in the play-in. If the season ended today, that is not good news for the Warriors, by the way, because you might have to play them in that play-in. But you want to keep space from them too, right? And they are creating some distance with the teams behind them as they try to catch up to the teams above them.
So yeah, that's why I would say every game, counts. And I would say this too: the reason why I don't negate these games is because there is a saying that I grew up, with: every dog has his day. I say that to say that even the Charlotte Hornets put a whooping on the OKC.
They've had a few of those, but you're right. Yeah.
So every dog has his day.
And can I add to that real quick, James, and say that you're right. Every dog has his day. The Hornets have had a few of those days. The Hornets, to me, are a team that can, like greatness in professional sports, maybe athletics, period, boils down to consistency. Can you do it on a night by night basis? If you can't, you're not a star. You're not a great player, man. But you can potentially fit, right? You can still do other things, and at least you can have great nights some nights, and that extends to teams as well. The Hornets have had a few incredible games. They didn't just beat OKC. They beat the Lakers. There was another game too they won recently, but they also lose a lot of games. And I think they're 11 or 12 games below 500. So they got a ways to go. They're not consistent, but they're showing flashes. This could be a team in like 2 years.
And I agree with you. But in a sense, what I was saying is that even a sorry team can beat a great team.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you have situations to where the Warriors may be beating these sorry teams, but at the same time, some of these sorry teams have beat the Warriors. Now, those are teams that we should have won. And I this is where I go to get my pushback on you a little bit, because I know you say this. You say that you take away that first week because Jonathan Kuminga was in the lineup. But if you would look at came out of the lineup, that was when he came out of the rotation in the second game of the Spurs. After that, he was not in the rotation no more.
Correct.
But during that first time, Jonathan Kuminga was giving us, 25. He was giving us 20. He was giving us 17. But then he started giving us 9. Then he started giving us
the minutes
10.
went down with that though too.
Right.
The minutes going down coincided with that. He might have had one game. Like there was one game, for example, I remember he was 1 of 10 from the field shooting. It was an awful shooting night, and the fans got all over him. But look at the minutes too, man. Like when he gets the minutes he produces at these 9-point games, all these blemishes, they coincide with Kerr giving up on him super fast. And that's not building confidence. That does nothing to develop him. And waving a white flag on a player, it's not going to result in anything. And what are you trying to say here, man? What are you sitting here saying Kuminga like shouldn't matter in these discussions? That they beat the Nuggets?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is and I throw this in here. This is basketball as far as a player's in and then the player's out. You can say that now that we have DeAnthony Melton, he could be our replacement for Jonathan Kuminga because he's been giving us solid numbers. Now he ain't a starter. He ain't a starter.
No pushback there, but here's what I'll respond with.
Right.
Imagine, and this is what I was thinking and why I was so damn excited again, because this is what Steve Kerr's Warriors do. They excite me for a brief moment because they get titillating with exciting an exciting product, and then he decides 2-3 weeks in, I'm just going to do the hobble ball bullshit again, and kills any dreams of another championship.
I must have done about
Tattoo, enough. But yeah, small ball tattoo. But here's why I feel crushed about this. You're right. DeAnthony Melton has stepped up. Imagine if the Warriors closing 5 every game was Steph, Melton, Kuminga, Jimmy, Dre. You'd beat anybody. That's your championship team right there. Without Kuminga, you're 4/5 of the way there. You still are missing that 5th guy. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, and I agree with you too. Now we all know that, man. This is a shit show of what Kerr has done with Kuminga. Come on, let's get it right. When you're sitting your top rebounder, then you're sitting your 3rd best scorer down, and then we need athleticism. We need all those things that Kuminga has given us. In the beginning, he was playing quote unquote Warriors basketball. But all of a sudden, when he messed up that one time, Kerr yanks him. As we can see, that's the asinine, as you like to say, that's the asinine brain of Kerr. So I definitely agree with you. Well, I'm just saying,
James, real quick, I don't even know if it was bad play on his part. If I remember correctly, like it was those 2 losses to the Bucks and the Pacers, right? Remember they blew those leads. I don't think, like if my memory serves correct, I don't recall Kuminga being the reason for those losses.
Not at all.
But Kerr used him as a scapegoat, and then that was that. And that's why this whole thing stinks to me, man. You know, and I don't know. Sorry to interrupt you, James. I'll shut up.
No. You. That's why I'm agreeing with you because Kerr has some asinine at the word. You know what I'm saying? It's your word. I agree with you because I like to use the first 3. You know, ass in his mind, but asinine thought process. But yes, man. I definitely agree with you. But,
I like your cadence, by the way. Where are you joining us again from, James? Where are you?
Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee.
Right, okay. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
But yeah, man, I definitely want to give props where they're due. For me, it's the process and how we're playing now. Not necessarily the team, but the process.
Right.
If we continue the process, if we continue the game flow, as far as taking control of the ball, not giving it up. Because if you go back and think now, Draymond Green tried to go back into his old ways on the game. What was it? Just the game before where he had 6 turnovers, but we still pulled it out. Man, come on now.
James, I really want to hear from you. So the Warriors have 2 more games left on this homestand, and it's been a marvelous homestand.
Yes.
They're 5-1. They finish up Monday and Tuesday, Miami and Toronto, and then they got a game Thursday at Dallas. And again, I would bet money on the Warriors to win that game. I don't know what the line is yet, but I've seen the matchup with the Warriors and Mavericks. That is a beautiful matchup for Golden State. They should win that handily. Then it starts getting very damn interesting. And what I want to ask you for, come back on this show right as the trade deadline expires, because starting on Saturday, January 24th, the Warriors are going to play back-to-back games, not back-to-back days. They're going to have a day off in between, but back-to-back games at Minnesota. That's going to reveal a lot. Even though Utah's a shitty team, for whatever reason, when the Warriors go to Utah, I don't know if the elevation plays a factor in it, but it's a tough game. It usually ends up being close. You don't see blowout wins. Then they host the Detroit Pistons. Detroit what? Then they host the Philadelphia 76ers, who beat the Warriors earlier this year, and I who knows what that team's all about. My point is that's your stretch of games leading up to the trade deadline. We're going to know a lot more about this team at that point. All the feel-good stuff that's coming out right now and these wins that we should feel good about because they're winning games they're supposed to win, if they keep this mojo going by the trade deadline, I'm with you. I've got some hope. but there's going to be some real tests coming up, and I'm dying to see how they handle that. You feel me?
Si, I feel you whatsoever, and I tell you what, I'm gonna pause what I'm saying, and I'll meet you back at that time.
You don't have to. That's your call. I mean,
yes, sir.
All right, James, how's life? How's I love Nashville. It's an amazing city.
Hey, man, life is going well.
Good.
I got a son that is in the military. He's in the Navy. He's stationed in Hawaii. So he's got shipped off to Hawaii.
Bravo.
I'm really, really proud of him.
It's a dream assignment. How do you get that? Like, do you get to pick where you get stationed, or is it like
Man,
a lottery?
When I was in the military, when I was in the Navy, we got to pick if you was the top 3 in graduating in your class. So I was a top 3. I got to pick. But if you're not, then you didn't. Nowadays, you don't get to pick. They just send you anywhere. That's what shake them up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So how long did you serve, sir?
Man, military was not for me. I didn't serve nothing about like 2 years, and I had to get up out that thing. It's not for everybody, and it wasn't for me. So, and my son said he gonna do his 20 and retire. So hopefully he can retire. Hopefully he can retire at the age of 45, and he'll be good.
My graduate program at San Diego State, this beautiful San Diego, I miss you. When I was there, our cohort, there was like 15 of us in our graduate class, and half the cohort were military. It's a very unique program, and they were all military. What are they called? PAOs, public affairs officers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically coming back, getting their masters, and then they're hopefully the military's goal is to have these PAOs with extra education and experience, and then hopefully they can do a better job. My point is, like, that was a wonderful experience for me because I befriended all of them. They were great people, and God bless their military.
Yeah, you got some good people in the military, man. I ain't gonna say.
And they also had like your son's plan. The whole reason I said that was your son's plan of like doing the 20 years and retiring. There were a couple of people in that class that were approaching the 20-year mark, and they had their graduate studies paid for. That was part of the program. So they're living life. 20 years could be 20 years goes by a lot quicker than you may think. And so congrats to your son. He's got an awesome plan lined up.
Oh yeah, he's trying to flip the benefits and start when he gets out. Flipping on real estate.
Hell yeah!
As far as
or he could just sit on his ass and play PS5 and get checks every month.
Yes.
Either way, it's awesome.
Yes. So it's good, man. But I appreciate you letting me on, man. And we're gonna pause this and I'll return to see what they talking about after the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I'm going to do you a favor, James, because you waited so long. The next time you join me, I'll bump you up, okay?
All right, man.
You waited a long time tonight. I kept looking at you going, damn, he's still there. I felt bad. So thank you for sticking it out. And always a pleasure joining us from Nashville.
It's always a pleasure being on here, man.
Beautiful, brother. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let's go to Kayako in our chat. It was just slowly start to wrap it up. And then Shardal will join us afterwards as we commiserate with tears over the 49ers. I'm sure Shardal is going to be depressed. And then we'll go through the scoreboard, and that'll be our show. But for now, Kayako, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yo, what's up?
Much, just chilling. How about you?
Yeah, me too. It's like really late. It's because I live in like Canada, so it's like I'm like 3 hours ahead of like you guys.
I'm sorry. For a second there, I forgot who you were. Where have you been, man? Good to see you again. Hear from
bro,
you.
good, bro. I've been chilling, bro. Come on. But what's
so
the
Kayako is, if my memory serves correct, you're a college student in Quebec, right? Ottawa?
No, Ottawa
City, the nation's capital of the great nation of Canada. The South Park loves to mock in a hilarious fashion routinely. They make all their characters like look different, which is crazy. Do you like South Park, by the way?
I've never really been there, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not it's a TV show. It's an animated TV show. It's called South Park, and it's been on for like 25 years. I can't believe you know nothing about it, dude. You're about to have the greatest binge of your life. It's a show that's been on for like 25 years. and you're gonna love every single episode. The early ones look a little dated, but they're still funny. Go check it out. They make the way they make fun of Canadians. It's harmless, so it's there's nothing offensive there about it, but it's hilarious, man. The episode they had last night, they were making fun of the Eskimos way up north. What's on your mind, brother? How you doing, Kyoko? Did you have a good winter vacation? Are you back at school?
Yeah. This week it was like my first week. So
Is it brutal? Are you happy to be back? Or what are your thoughts on being in school again?
I'm feeling ready. I think that's the word to describe it,
Yeah.
And yeah.
Good stuff.
But
What's on your mind about the Warriors, man? I'll shut up.
bruh, I got like a lot of stuff and I kind of like wrote down like a few of these things. It was just over games and games, and I just felt like I could like debate you on like a few stuff if
Let's
you
do
wouldn't
it.
mind.
I love it. Let's go for it. What's up?
So I think the first thing is about Jalen Johnson. I know you brought up that he got, like 30 plus minutes in like back-to-back years, and then he ended up skyrocketing. But to me, it's like, is that really a coaching thing? Because he was on like a really weak team and they weren't contenders. So like if his stats skyrocketed like to that level, is that a coaching thing or is that just a player thing? And he was able to exercise that amount of freedom and just build his game off season after off season. And I just don't think like you explained that like really well.
Well, look, were the Hawks a better opportunity for a young player? Absolutely. But at the same time, like, look back on the Warriors the last 3-4 years, and would they have been in any way worse off giving Kuminga the same treatment?
See, I mean,
that's my thinking on it. I get the logic of this is a championship team, right? And that's why his minutes were so reduced. Kuminga's minutes were so reduced his rookie year. I get that. Same with Moses Moody. And they still played. They got like 16 minutes a game, I think. But in year 2, year 3, what is the justification for suppressing him? Especially when you look at the minutes and see who was playing instead. Like Anthony Lamb was getting nearly 20 minutes a game. And you ended up as a 6th seed getting crushed by the Lakers in the second round as the reigning champion. And then the next 3 years, you're a playing team. You see why like the whole situation stinks, at least in my book. And then you see the track record of every young player or every star in this game and how they got to be a star. And the recipe is the same with every player who's become a star. They got a shitload of minutes early in their career. They were allowed to play through mistakes and learn from them, and they become great players. And Kuminga's never once gotten that, man. So it's like, am I making sense or no? Are you still kind of like?
It makes sense. I'd like to play like a devil's advocate on that, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all, man. I love it. Yeah.
So yeah, like I see what you mean about like, if it was like a really, really young player on like a trash team, that they would get more opportunity. But I think after that 2022 chip, it was more so like, I think the front office and what Steve Kerr wanted, that's when it like really like it conflicted. And I think that Moody, he was able to like squeeze in minutes because like he consistently showed up, but because Steve had like an agenda against him, anything that Kuminga did, whether it be good or bad, it didn't really matter because I mean, if he really did want Franz Wagner, then that pretty much explains it, right? Because the Lake of like loves Kuminga, but Steve clearly like he just personally doesn't like him. So my question to you is that, do you think that maybe he wasn't playing Kuminga in order like to spit basically in like Joe Lacob's face and to like prove to him that it was a mistake drafting this kid?
Maybe. I wish I could tell you yes or no as a fact, but I don't know for sure as a fact. But what you bring up is one of many reasons why this situation is so frustrating and confusing. It makes no sense. It sucks. By the way, one example of a player playing for a team that actually was a contender yet still got minutes, Kawhi Leonard. his rookie year, 24 minutes a game. Jonathan Kuminga would tie for that at any point in his career. This year, I know it's around there, but when he plays. Year 2, team's a title contender. Kawhi Leonard's playing 31.2 minutes per game. And Kawhi Leonard was like the 14th pick in the draft. So there's an example of being able to still find the minutes on a team that was a championship contender. And Kawhi was the 15th pick. I apologize. Am I making myself a little more clear? And are you understanding my perspective a little more in terms of why Steve Kerr's handling of these youngsters is so damn frustrating?
That is true, but I can't really imagine Kuminga having like the same career as like Kawhi. Like Kawhi was elite throughout his whole carear.
Look, was he? I mean, look, statistically, Kawhi,
like even with the Spurs, he was he was that guy.
But look, even with the Spurs, right? The year they won the championship and Kawhi got NBA Finals MVP, he averaged 12.8 points per game. He shot 37.9% from 3. So it's not like he was putting up these huge numbers. So what you're saying essentially, if I'm reading you correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that Kawhi was passing the eye test better to you than Kuminga did?
More or less. I mean, like I'd have to pull up his advanced metrics, but a lot of Kuminga's like advanced analytics aren't, like, especially this year, man. It's bad. It's like
what advanced. Well, this year, I don't know how you can look at Kuminga's stats this year, given the treatment and I don't know how anybody would thrive in this situation. But what advanced metrics are particularly popping out to you that you don't like?
Well, for starters, win shares per 48.
What even is that stat? Win share. How do you calculate win shares per 48?
It's basically just how well a player like contributes to like their team's win, and basically just looking at like the on-off metrics. Obviously, when Steph is off, it's like a lottery team or like a play-in team, and then it's like when he's on, it's like, like it picks up.
That's what great players do. But if you're going to rely on advanced metrics in terms of net rating, do you know which player is in the 5-man lineup that still has the best net rating on this team? I'll give you a hint. His first name rhymes with Mamathin. His last name rhymes with Maminga. So that's literally like an objective advanced metric. And yet Kerr doesn't care. And win shares per 48 minutes, I'm trying to figure out like how they calculate that. Because it is a calculation. And I'm always like wary of stats that have where some guy just came up with a calculation. And they're like, look at this new stat I made, guys. Like, let me give you another example of a quote unquote advanced metric that just makes me laugh and I want to shit on it, is true shooting. Do you know who's like the all-time leader in true shooting percentage in the NBA?
Is it Jokic?
Rudy Gobert. Do you know, like, I think the first 12 players leading the league in true shooting percentage are all centers. And then the first guard that shows up is Steph, and he's like 13th. But that's a stat people love to rely on? Like, give me a break, dude. Like, so win share, I need to figure out how they calculate that. Let me see. I'm still trying to figure it out. But my point is, like, I don't know. My point is win share. That's not enough to me to like really. Here it is. I found a website that says how they calculate it. Win share. Here it is. According to NBAstuffer.com, win share is a measurement that is assigned to players based on their offense, defense, and playing time. Win share per 48 is win shares per 48 minutes. Yeah, but how do you calculate that? Okay. Justin Kabatko explains, quote, a win share is worth 1/3 of a team win. If a team wins 60 games, there are 180 win shares to distribute among the players. That still makes no effing sense. And I don't know how you can judge like Kuminga from that. So Bill James developed a system so that 1 win is equivalent to 3 win shares. And then the person who created the win share formula adds, I don't know. Like, can we not rely on win shares? Can we just rely
Yeah,
on
I'm
other
okay
stats?
with that, but like,
Like, I don't even know what the hell win shares. I don't know what the hell is that. What else is on your mind, brother? I hope I'm not being disrespectful. Am I? I appreciate you.
no, it's all good.
Keep going. What else? You said you had notes.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna talk and pause if that's okay.
Please go for it.
So I think Quentin Post, I think it's time to just like move on from him and like write him off.
All right. So you think, so in other words, you think that's a position where the team could upgrade?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Well, because I mean, if we look at like his games, it's weird. It's like he starts off good, and I think he's a solid like perimeter defender, but he can't. Aside from like switchability, he's an awful rim protector. We saw what happened whenever like a traditional center like plays on him. It's always just bad. His shooting is awful too. His rebounds is not good. Like he's like what's his percentages this year, bro? It's like 33%. I'm like, damn, like, and you're a stretch big too, so it's like
I love it. I'm not going to push back on that, man. I don't nothing against Quinn Post, but he has not exactly been blowing my socks off either. Tonight, Quinn Post played 19 minutes, 28 seconds, was 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep. Did grab 7 boards, so that's good. No blocks. And while I'm looking at the box score again, I want to point out the net rating leaders for the Warriors, and this is where you can kind of figure out who was on the floor doing damage. Will Richard plus 24, Al Horford plus 20, D'Anthony Melton plus 24, Brandon Pajemski plus 16, Buddy Hield plus 10. Moses Moody had a plus 6. Everyone else is like either a 0 or a 2. Draymond Green, weirdly enough, this is bizarre, was a minus 4. That's crazy. Anyways, but so the grouping of Will Richard, Horford, Melton, Pajemski, Buddy Hield, they were just lighting it up tonight. And Moses Moody had a good and the shooting, man. You're gonna win games when you shoot nearly 50% from deep. That's how it goes. I love your Quentin Post take. What else, brother?
yeah. And then as for Brandon Pajemski and I think Armando's take on like Draymond, like a lot of the stuff that he was saying is just flat out wrong.
Okay.
Same thing
How
with
so?
Horford.
How
So he claimed that Draymond is like a top 5 defender in the league, where it's like he's not even close to that. He's not even like a top 50. I don't think.
So you think
and it's
Draymond's defense is cooked? It's no longer elite.
I mean, basic, bro. Like against people he like really has like an agenda against. It's like, yeah, like I could see him guarding him, but like on average, I'm just watching and I'm like, geez. And the reason why he's like put at the 5 and he doesn't want to play the 5 is because his switchability is just, like it's terrible. So it's like if we play him at the 4, he's just going to be too slow and he can't guard wings or guards anymore, really. So we're forced to play him at the 5, but then at the 5 he's too small, and his offense, it's the worst in the league. So
Look, tonight offensively he did pretty good. He scored 20 points. I hear what you're saying though. I'm not letting tonight be the barometer.
About time though, no?
Yeah.
Like it's been years.
I'm not pushing back because there are a lot of games where he looks bad, but I need to point this out, and this is why they're not going to trade him ultimately. The Warriors' 2 biggest wins this season were those 2 San Antonio games where Steph stole the show with his 49 and 46 point outburst. But Draymond Green's defense on Victor Wembanyama in those 2 games was superb. Like, he did his job and then some. I know those are just 2 games, but my point is, if this team is going to have any shot in the postseason, that's what they're banking on. That's what they're keeping them for, because they know when the postseason comes and mental warfare becomes a part of this, and every possession suddenly counts, and pressure is sky high, right? And Draymond does not fold under pressure. Like, his value is going to emerge far more so at that point. But you're right. On a game-by-game basis, there are nights where it's ugly. I feel you.
I'm saying though, like, I mean, if he's not going to be like effective on like either end, and like I know he complains about playing the 5, but it's like, gang, like at the 4 or at the 3, like if we were to put him at the 4, he like, I mean, he got screwed up, right? And that happens every time.
Fair. But what about when he's on the floor with Al Horford and Al Horford's hitting those threes, or when he's on the floor with Quentin Post and Post is actually hitting threes, which is not a consistent thing. I guess what I'm asking is, do you mind Draymond when he's on the floor with a stretch 5?
I'm okay with it, but I mean, again, like you already heard my take on like Post. Like I don't think he's the answer, and he's not like a starter by any means. So it's like, I mean, if we're gonna upgrade a roster, might as well get like a big. And if like with JK's trade value this low, it's like, nah, like I'm not just go
Daniel
for like a
Gafford
cheaper.
Maybe Gafford is the best bet. Maybe it is. I mean, the Warriors put themselves in such a shitty corner here with Kuminga, and again, I know this is me saying this is not what you folks want to hear, and please forgive me in advance for just trying to be honest about the situation. But there is a very real scenario where he's on this roster after the trade deadline, and at that point, I don't know what the F happens. Like if he just sits there in purgatory, it's wild shit, dude. But I also think if Kuminga does not get traded by the trade deadline February 5th, because the Warriors just don't want to lose a trade and they rather just hold on to this asset, I do think Steve Kerr is done. I think Kerr's gone after this season, because if Lacob's looking at this and he's going, okay, this $20+ million asset that I like, even though there's a new report out that says he's down on him, but there's no chance in hell Steve Kerr survives this. And Steve Kerr truthfully is coaching and acting like a man who doesn't give an F, who's been told that he's going to be likely jettisoned after this year, and he's playing the part. He doesn't want to play Kuminga. He doesn't have to. He doesn't give a shit. But that's my prediction, is if Kuminga is on this roster after the trade deadline and he's DNP'd the rest of the way through, this is Kerr's last year. Like it already likely is, but that would just cement it. Like I don't think there's any chance in hell Lacob's continuing this after this year. You know what I'm saying? So that's my prediction. Go on, man. What else? What else is in your notes? You said you were going to talk about Brandon Podziemski and then it switched to Dre, or did you get your Podziemski take out?
No. Like, I'm still down to like talk about like pods.
Go for it.
There was like a stat that like I keep forgetting to bring up, but Brandon Podziemski actually has the 3rd worst playoff performance in NBA history, which is insane. Like I was like, what the hell? And
3rd worst how? What do you mean? Like how did you come up with that?
No, just like I saw it online and like I didn't want to believe it. And then like I was like, damn, like I actually looked through like historically bad performances. The last time a player was almost as bad as like Brandon Podziemski, it was way back in like 2014 by Pero Antics.
But
on the Hawks.
But bad how? What like scoring wise, or is it the win share thing?
No,
again?
everything. Like he would like. Do you not remember like last year's playoff? How he was just, my God.
Oh, here it is. Okay, I found what you probably saw. It's referring to the series against Minnesota last year.
Yeah, that was bad, man. Like that was really bad.
This is so. And this article is saying that Brandon Podziemski, according to Josh Dubois of the Associated Press, him shooting 9 for 40 from the field in 4 games against Minnesota is the worst of any player in a series with a minimum of 35 field goal attempts since Pedo Antic, don't remember him, shot 16.7% for Atlanta in 2014. That's actually courtesy of that is courtesy of Josh Dubois. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, like how I'm just like, it's baffling to me how all these like Pods fans just push that to the like side, and it kind of got swept under the rug. And it's like, dude, like what are we doing? He is arguably the worst playoff performer in the past decade plus. So why is this guy still getting 30 minutes. That's why I laugh whenever I see people say stuff like, "Oh, he can get us 10 points though." It's like, yeah, these guys are pro athletes. Anybody can get you 10 points with the looks and the gravity that like Steph gives you. And this is just like my main issue. But
No, I
I mean,
agree.
recently,
Yeah.
and another thing is that like whenever it's against big teams, he just wilts. Like he can't be in rotation against like Minnesota, the Hawks, the Magic. Every single time he's against those teams, he does bad. And all of his fans tried claiming, "Oh, it's because he was injured." No, it's because he did bad.
And we've been covering this on the show as well, that he wilts against better teams largely because he's just not. Look, he doesn't have the wingspan, he doesn't have the foot speed, he doesn't have the shot. It's not consistent enough, man. Some nights he looks great, some nights he's building a brick house, and it's unfortunate. But I will give credit to Kerr, and I've been saying this as well, because Guy Santos was not available tonight. But when Guy and Jimmy Butler was out as well, but when Guy is available, he's actually jumped up ahead of Podziemski in the rotation. And Podziemski's minutes as a whole have dipped to about 20 per game. Still too much in my book, but at least we're getting the adjustment, right? It's slow moving, but we're seeing these changes. Have you noticed that too?
I've noticed that, and I'd like to bring up like Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
But not him as a player, because we all know how elite he is. Just like look at the numbers. I'm turning into like a Nets fan. I won't lie. Like they're actually really entertaining. But the reason why I'm bringing him up, and I think you briefly like hinted at it, is Joe Lacob. He worries too much about the emotional aspect, and he's too protective over all these picks. It's like he's clinging on to Jonathan Kuminga, but then he's also keeping like Steve Kerr. It's like, dude, you gotta pick one. Like you have to pick one, and you gotta move on. Like why? Why is he acting like Steph is not 40? He's 40. Like he's turning 40 with
crazy. He's old. He's an old man.
No, I mean like it's like I get it. As an owner, it's good to be like linked to like a team or anything like that, but he's emotionally invested, and he looks too deep into it. I've never seen an organization so protective over like these draft picks. And it's like, I mean, dude, if you didn't want to give up these draft picks, you should have just traded for Keon Ellis in the during the offseason, because we were offered an extra first-round pick. So if we wanted to give the Nets those 2 first-round picks, it would have been like us giving them 1 first-round pick now, and then we could have moved Ellis for more assets.
You could have Warriors could have gotten Keon Ellis for Brandon Podziemski straight up. That which infuriates me. Like, do that trade yesterday, but they won't for whatever reason. And then I feel you on that. Look, this is my opinion. I could be wrong on this. This is just a guess. But I'm confident that if Brooklyn would not have required picks to get Michael Porter Jr., the Warriors would do that. Like if it's Kuminga, let's say the trade is Kuminga, Moody, and Pods, or Kuminga, Moody, Buddy Hield, whatever you got to do, and maybe like you attach. Hell, I think they probably do it if all it took was a first round pick in next year's draft. I think they probably would do it, but Brooklyn's going to ask for probably 2, maybe even 3, and the Warriors have given up so many picks over the years to sustain this dynasty that they're ready for the next step. That's what's on their mind. But I feel you on that too, man.
I get it, bro. But like tanking and like wasting like an elite season of Steph, like I mean, and the Jimmy's playing like an all-star too. Like
dumb.
This is another thing I don't agree with Armando about, like claiming, "Oh, just blow it up." Like might as well. Like no, bro. He's balling out, and it's like it's not fair to him, bro.
I feel you. Well, next time Armando's on, jump on, man, and tell him that.
Well,
try to.
No, but like I don't see the link whenever he's on, so it's
I hear what you're saying. Okay, next year. Well, I didn't. Do you? Is your handle Keiko in the chat?
Yeah, I'm like banned though. I think I'm not sure.
I have no way of knowing that. I apologize. Just do you have other like all you got to do to get on the show is just have a Gmail account, right? You have more than one Gmail account, don't you?
Yeah.
What did I ban you for? Did I ban you? What did you say that pissed me off?
No,
did I ban you? Well, do you remember what it was that you said that might have made me do that?
I mean, I wasn't called out, but you called me and like a few other people, and I think you told us, don't like. Well, it's because I was saying stuff like, "Oh, just put me on the show, and I'll like happily debate like Armando and like a few other people," and it's like I kind of just got banned for that. So.
Well, there was a day, maybe you were the handle, because there was one day where I accidentally did. I've accidentally done that a few times. Maybe it was an accident, because that would not have elicited a ban for me. Forgive me for that, though. Regardless, just jump in with another handle, and do me a favor when Armando's on with me next Friday. Just in the chat, say, "Can you post the link?" That's all you have to do. We didn't, and normally when people do that, I'll put the link in right away, or at least I'll address it and say we don't have time today to bring the audience on. But next Friday, man, let's make it work. Just remind me in the chat. Just say, "Hey, it's Kayoko," or just say, "Can you post the link, please?" We'll do it. Like Armando's not hiding. We're not hiding. So it was just it might have been a time thing this last show. I can't remember why we didn't post it. But come on, tell them next show, will you?
No. I mean like my name in like the actual like chat box, like it's not like showing.
That's what I'm saying. So go to the when you next time you sign into the chat box, use a different Gmail account. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just come in with a different one so you're not hidden, and just write in there, say, "Can you post a link?" Done, and we'll bring you on. Tell the professor that. The professor is eating a little bit of crow because Al Horford's playing some good ball, even though I know he's laughing at this with me saying this going. My guess is here's Armando's thinking right now. You think Al Horford's doing good in this 8-game homestand against the Hornets? We need some music, first of all. Let's get some music. And then we also need some Adam Sandler.
Oh my God, that is funny!
Yeah, so that's what Armando's probably saying in his mind. Do me a favor and jump on with me next week with Armando and share those thoughts with him.
All right, I got you.
How's everything else? Are you doing good? How's life in Ottawa?
Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna go finish up like assignment, bro. So I gotta go, but well, I got one for chemistry, so I gotta go do that.
That's is that like a GE thing? Like is a class you have to take, or are you actually going to be a scientist?
No, it's a class I just gotta take, bro.
All right, survive, hang in there. And what's the other one?
And then like socioeconomics and like politics, bro.
Ooh, bring that up with Armando too. That's what he teaches.
All right, perfect.
Love it. Come back soon, man. Great to hear from you. Happy belated New Year. I think the last time you were on the show it was still 2025. Thanks, Kayoko. Great to hear from you, kid.
All right, see you, bro.
All right, brother. Later, man. I love the bros. He drops those bros like super good. All right. Without further ado, it's time to wrap up the show with our closer. So let's bring him on.
Stay at home, son.
Yeah, it's the danger zone when Chardal comes on, and I have no idea what this unpredictable man is going to be saying or doing following a heartbreaking 49ers loss. Chardal, how you doing, kid?
Hey, Sai, I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make some great content videos on the platform.
That's a great picture, by the way. I love that picture. That's the Warriors and the Niners logos basically merging into one. Chef's kiss for that. Bravo.
As the Golden State Warriors take down the Charlotte Hornets 136-116, what were your 5 takeaways from the win tonight?
More importantly, sorry, I saw a few chat comments. It's making me laugh. More importantly, how are you feeling? Because that game sucked. The Niners game, not the Warriors, the Niners.
I was at Dave & Buster's for the 49ers and Seahawks watch party. There were a lot of Niner fans over there watching the game with me. That was the most frustrating ass whooping I have ever seen as a 49er fan. I mean, we lost that game 41-6.
Brutal. Do you still love Brock Purdy?
I love Brock Purdy, but I won't blame the loss on him.
Even though they only put up even though they put up 9 points in 2 games, not his fault.
It's not his fault still.
What is it going to take for you, man? What do you need? What do you need before you realize he is not it?
Man, like that game was so frustrating. That game really got under my skin.
Sure.
I probably won't be able to sleep after that loss. I'll probably be dreaming about that loss when I wake up in the middle of the night.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was a hard.
And I won't be able to get that loss wiped out from my memory.
Good. Let's go back to Dave and Buster's for a second. What was the scene like there, man? Like, was it crowded?
It was pretty crowded. We were trying to get a table there, and we weren't able to get a table. It was like a 2 to 3 hour wait to get a table.
Damn. And once you finally did get a table and you're settled and
I didn't get a table, so I just ended up watching the 49ers and Seahawks game, and then we went to the food court and had some dinner at the food court.
Do you see this picture right next to me?
I see that picture. That's from Sausage Party.
Correct.
And that's
Good
one
call.
of my favorite movies.
Which begs the question, was Dave and Buster's a sausage party?
Dave and Buster's was a sausage party after the 49ers knew that the Seahawks were going to beat them.
This is just depressing in every regard, Chardal.
I'm so sad that the 49ers lost against the Seahawks, and now they won't be advancing to the NFC Championship game. That grim fate hurts me in its own right.
Son of a bitch. And
all the Niner fans were swearing and cursing all over the place.
Mother. Son of a bitch.
Mother effer, Seahawks. F Sam Darnold. F Mike McDonald. F that whole fan base and franchise.
So the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl this year, huh? Because Josh Allen's Bills lost today too, and then right after that, the Broncos QB, we find out is a broken ankle. What, Bo Nix? That's his name. So basically, it's going to be whoever comes out of the AFC, and the Rams are going to beat them, and the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl.
So I'm
guessing how this is going to go.
I'm going with the Seahawks and the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I'm going with the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
It can't be the Seahawks and Rams. Is it going to be the Seahawks or the Rams in the Super Bowl?
I'm going with the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I'm going with the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
There you go. I think that's how it's going to go too.
And Matthew Stafford will be the NFL Super Bowl MVP.
Sure. No. Yeah, I'm still stuck on this Dave and Buster scene. So you can't get a table. So you end up like you never got a table. You just stood up the whole time.
My friend, my two of my other friends, they got a table and I didn't get a table, so we ended up going to the food court and have some Italian food at the food court.
Why did you each need a table? I don't get that part. Did you each have your own party?
No, my friend, my two of my friends came and drove over there on their own, and me and my friend drove on our own. But we didn't know. But we didn't know when we reached there that two of my other friends were also going to be there at the watch party. So I was like, that's a coincidence. I never thought you were going to be there. And then when I came, I bumped into them and said, "How are you here?" They said, "We drove here." I'm like, "I drove here too with my friend too." And what are you here for? They said, "We're here for the 49ers and Seahawks game." And like, they got a table and we didn't. I'm like, that is like unfair. I'm like, how do you get a table and we have to go and eat at the food court? Like, how does that happen? Explain to me, how does that happen? They said, we planned already. We initially planned to eat here. I'm like, didn't you tell me that you're gonna eat here? I would have eaten with you too.
Yeah.
If you told me that you were gonna eat at the restaurant, I would have eaten with you too. They said, "Oh, we already planned to eat already. We can't change our plans." I'm like, you get out of here, man. Why would you plan to eat at the restaurant without me? You exclude me?
You know what you should have told him, Shardall?
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's what you should have told him.
And I tried to ask him, like, can I eat with you? And he gave me the most rough look. He said, maybe next time. Like, when next time? This is the last time the 49ers are playing. When is the next time? When are we going to hang out next?
So this is how your day went.
And I'm pissed off because I asked my friend if I can eat with them, and he said, dude, we'll do it some other time. I'm like, what do you mean some other time? It's the only time the Niners play. What do you mean some other time? What kind of answer is that?
It's not. It's a shitty answer.
What kind of rude answer is that?
So this is how your day went. You go to Dave and Buster's.
I've had a shitty day today. My 49ers lost. We're not going to the NFC Championship game. This is the worst day of my life.
So you find out that you have some friends that betrayed you. They're not.
They
real
betrayed
friends.
me.
Those
I mean, they are real
motherfuckers.
friends. They are real friends, but they didn't want to say it in my face that we don't want to eat with you. I'm like, we're friends here. We should all eat together at the table.
There's only
have a
one thing
big
you-
have a
you
big
only-
table.
There's only one thing you say to a piece of shit like that.
Fuck you.
That's it.
And we could have order and I was planning to order a bunch of buffalo wings, snacks,
Oh.
appetizers,
Oh.
drinks. You have a big table and sell and watch the game together. But I don't know, man. I don't think he's a real friend.
That's what I'm thinking too, brother.
I think he's betraying me. I think he wanted to betray me.
And then on top of that,
And my Niners lost, so I had
Niners
such a horrible and shitty day.
the Niners are losing. You've got a sausage party, which is one of my biggest peeves in life.
All right, let's just stay calm here. Don't get all crazy on me.
At least when I'm
Sorry.
single, I'm socializing. Yes.
If you're my counselor, can you help me make me feel better that the Niners lost today? And I'm not feeling so well.
Here's the bright side. The Warriors won. At least one of the two teams won.
The Warriors won, but the Niners lost. I was hoping that the Warriors. I was hoping to see the Warriors win and the Niners to win. Both teams to win on the same day. I was expecting that. Wouldn't that be special if the Warriors won today and the Niners won today, and then they would be moving on?
It would.
That would be the cream of the crop, the cupcake on top, the cherry on top of the cupcake.
Do you want to go through some scores? I'm hungry. I mean, these shows are going so long. Now.
And when I went to the food,
if I find out that these long shows are detrimental, then
when I went to the food court, I had a cheese, tomato, mozzarella, and chicken stromboli, and I had some baked ziti with marinara sauce.
Beautiful, some stromboli. I haven't even heard anyone say that word.
A stromboli. So a stromboli basically is a pizza turned over on its side, and there's fillings inside of it. It's the most delicious thing ever. You should try it.
I've had one. It's just been a very long time. No, they're delicious.
Yeah, I've had it for my first time today, and it was absolutely delicious.
Let's go through the scoreboard and get the hell out of here, Shardall. At least the Warriors won. I know the Niners losing always just puts a pit in my stomach. I just gets.
I was really. Hulk smash. You know what I was expecting for the Seahawks? I was expecting the 49ers to put the Seattle Seahawks on a tombstone and say R.I.P.
I know that's what we wanted. I hear you.
And we didn't do that.
F the Seahawks.
F the Seahawks.
Hey, Seahawks.
Fuck you.
Sons of
Sea chickens. Say sea chickens. I don't want to be offensive on the show. Say sea chickens.
Oh, it's too late. I've already. Well, fine. Sea chickens.
Oh, hey, you.
That's a nice way of doing it. If we're gonna be nice about things,
Let's go over the scoreboard and wrap up the show for the night.
Let's do that. Well, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be an opponent of your Warriors next week in Dallas. They won today 138-120 over the Utah Jazz, improving the record to 17-26. Utah drops to 14-28. Who is B. Williams on the Mavericks? Do you know, Shardall?
I don't know who
Let's look
B.
that
Williams
up. I'm gonna
is.
look it up. I say that because ESPN listed Brandon Williams as the Mavericks' top performer tonight. Brandon Williams, if you're unfamiliar with who he is, this is his third season in the NBA, undrafted. I don't know. Oh, he went to Arizona, and tonight a top performer for the Mavericks, dropping 22 points. Keontae George of the Utah Jazz, 29 points, 6 assists in the loss. The Boston Celtics, 132-106 winners tonight. MVP candidate Jaylen Brown, 41.6 rebounds for the former Cal alum. Okongwu, 21.7 rebounds in the loss for the Hawks, who dropped to 20-24. Boston improves to 26-15. What are you doing tonight? Are you home now? You're just it's like nighttime.
It's nighttime, so I'm gonna plan to. Me and Buster, my cat.
Shardall has a tuxedo cat. named Buster Posey, and he's your buddy, right? He's your best bud, correct?
He's my buddy. So tonight when I get off this stream, I'm gonna play some NBA 2K26. I'm gonna be playing also some Madden 26 when I get off this stream tonight.
Oh, beautiful!
On the PlayStation 5.
I love video games. I just beat my Judge Dredd video game. I got to figure out something new. Elsewhere, I'm a gamer. I feel you on that. Elsewhere in the NBA, the Detroit Pistons. Detroit what? 121-78 winners tonight. That's a blowout. That's a win by 43 points, if my math is correct. Over the Indiana Pacers, Detroit improves to 30-10. Indiana drops to 10-33. Jalen Duren, 15 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Is it Tony Bradley of the Pacers? Hold on, let me just confirm that. Every time I see a name I'm unfamiliar with, I feel a need to look it up. And maybe I'm educating you folks in the process doing that. So Indiana's top performer tonight, Tony Bradley. Yeah, I didn't know who he was. Indiana, an awful team. The Phoenix Suns, unfortunately, they keep winning, and that's important because the Warriors need them to lose if they want to leap up to the 7th seed in the Western Conference. They beat the quickly becoming a hapless New York Knicks team, 106-99 the final. This one was in Madison Square Garden. Devin Booker, 27 points in the win. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 11 rebounds in the loss. The Knicks dropped to 25-17. The Suns improve to 25-17. Chardal, the OKC Thunder lost tonight to the Warriors' next opponent. That usually means good things for the Warriors. Usually when they get these teams coming in town that just came off a big win, they follow up with disappointment. So I think this is good news for the Warriors. Miami beating OKC in Miami to improve to 22-20. The Thunder dropping to 35-8. Bam Adebayo, 30 points, 12 rebounds in the win. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 39 points in the loss.
I have a fun fact. So Bam Adebayo, who plays for the Miami Heat, he's currently in a relationship with Asia Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces.
They're gonna make some super babies.
They're gonna be a nice couple. Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson.
They are a nice couple, yeah. This was a dandy tonight. A great game. The San Antonio.
And
yeah.
And there's an animated movie coming out in theaters. It's called GOAT. It's directed by Stephen Curry. Unanimous Media. Stephen Curry's in it. Asia Wilson is in it. Dwayne Wade is in it. That's a good movie. I'm definitely watching that movie. Any movie that has Stephen Curry in it, I'm definitely watching that movie. There's no way I'm not watching a movie that has Stephen Curry in it. He's one of my favorite basketball players.
I love it. And that movie is going to come out soon. I'm sure
that movie's going to come out soon.
Correct.
I'm gonna go and watch that movie. And then I'm gonna come on the show and give a movie review on it, on how I felt about the movie.
Chardal, movies are a great opportunity to invite.
I'm gonna do a movie review on the show, and I'm gonna watch the movie in theaters, and I'm gonna come on the show and give a movie review to you and tell you how I enjoyed about the movie, what I liked about it. I'll give you a whole synopsis on the movie when I watch it. But it has to come out first before I do a movie review.
Of course it does. And movies are a great date setting. Might be a good opportunity to shoot your shot with someone.
Frank Red loves watching movies. Frank Red. Every time in the Dungeon Show, he always does one movie review at the end to tell about a movie that he watched.
I love movies too. Do you love Anthony Edwards? Because he dropped 55 points tonight. Unfortunately for Minnesota, it was a loss. 126-123 at San Antonio. The Spurs improving to 29-13. Minnesota drops to 27-16. Victor Wembanyama coming somewhat close to matching that Anthony Edwards 55. Berger with 39 points and 9 rebounds himself. 2 more games and we're out of here. The Denver Nuggets beating the Washington Wizards at the Mile High City final 121-115. The Nuggets improving to 29-13. The Wiz, Jonathan Kuminga's next team, maybe, dropping to 10-31.
So
I always forget what K George is with Washington. It's Keyshawn. There's Keyshawn George of the Wizards.
Keontae George is on the Jazz. And Keyshawn George is on the Wizards.
Correct. Keyshawn George on the Wizards.
And that's Keontae George's brother.
Are they brothers?
Yeah, Keontae George and Keyshawn Jones are both brothers.
Twin brothers or just brothers?
No, actual brothers by blood.
Well, I know that, but I mean, are they twins or different years?
No, I think they're twins.
Well, don't quote that as a fact. Well, Keyshawn George, 29 points, 7 assists, 3 blocks in the loss. Jamal Murray, who I think is a lock to make the All-Star game this year, 42 points, 6 assists. That will be Jamal Murray's first All-Star game of his career. And last but certainly not least, Shardal, you wanted some good news, right?
I would like some good news, and I would like to share with. I would love you to share it with me.
Here's some good news. The Portland Trailblazers beat the LA Lakers tonight, 132-116 to improve to 21-22. The Lakers dropped to 24-16. Shaedon Sharpe, 25 points in the win. LeBron James, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists in the loss. And that is your scoreboard for a Saturday, January 17th. And your Saturday is over. Are you still buzzed? Like, did the alcohol wear off? How are you feeling on that front?
It wore off. The alcohol wore off.
So see, when I drink, like when I do day drinking, like I get the nighttime hangover, and I hate that. Do you have a nighttime hangover, or does it just fade for you?
I don't get a nighttime hangover.
Good for you, bud. You're lucky.
So on February 7th of next month, I'm gonna be going to watch the Lakers and Warriors game at Crypto.com Arena. My dad has already bought tickets for that game. I'm going to on February 7th when the next time the Lakers play the Warriors in LA. I can't wait to go to that game. I haven't, I always loved that series, like, and that's always a good series. And I don't like the Lakers, man. Like, I despise the Lakers. They're just a horrible organization. I hope they burn in hell.
I don't think you're being harsh enough. Hey, LA.
Fuck you.
Hell yeah, dude.
F you, LA. Beat LA.
Oh, hey, you.
Yeah, anytime LA comes up, there's only one message that we're sending from this program. All day, every day.
Sai, where's that video clip from with Ice Cube saying, hey, 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 hey,
I got
hey,
another one.
hey, hey, hey,
I've got another one.
hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey.
Stay at home, son.
It's always the danger zone with Shardal. How's your YouTube channel going?
My YouTube channel is going very well. I'm still stuck at 518 subscribers. I haven't gained any more from that point.
Folks, go to Shardal's channel. SGA Sports Talk is the name of the channel.
Make sure to subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 518 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600 subscribers. And make sure to subscribe to Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie. He's currently at 5,140 subscribers. He's on the road to 6,000 subscribers. So if you like his content, please go over there and show my guy Sai some love, because he puts his content for you guys. So if you don't go there and subscribe, you're doing yourselves a big, massive disservice to go and not support this man right here.
Thank you.
He looks very shabby. He looks very shabby, but
by the way, I love that. Did you make that logo yourself? Like, is that?
I went to Google and I typed Warriors and 49ers logo, and then it popped up, and I'm using that for the show.
That's a good pick. That I think is my all-time favorite, like, logo. I really like. I'm not being hyperbolic. That is beautiful. Good stuff. Congrats.
Sai, so I'll definitely join you on the post-game show against the Miami Heat and the Raptors. Hopefully the Warriors win
Julian
both of those
Bashir is
games.
asking, Shardal. Julian Bashir is asking, do you make content? Meaning, are you hosting shows on your channel?
I make content, but I haven't been live on on YouTube that often. I need to get back on YouTube and make some more content for the viewers. But Sai, I really love coming on your show. Thanks for making me the closer.
Yeah.
It's the absolute honor that I can receive from you to make me
It's
the
an honor
closer.
having you.
And I love you making me that you make me the closer every single night. I come on and end the show on a bright note.
Yes. We love having you, Shardol.
And I really love your sense of humor, man. Like, you make the show very entertaining. Support this guy, all you viewers in the chat. But yeah, I'll definitely join you on the post-game show against Heat and the
real
Raptors.
quick, Shardol, you're asking about that clip that hey, Ice-T. That's from a segment, and there's gonna be another Ice-T. I have two of them. I forgot to upload the other one. Of Ice-T was he plays the host of a skit in Chappelle's show. It's called the Player Haters Ball. And the whole event is just the best haters on the planet coming together, just talking mean ass shit. It's pure comedy. I think it's on YouTube and other places. Dave Chappelle, just a genius, and that's where that skit.
So
comes
final,
from. Yeah.
I love Ice-T.
Good. Do you like it with lemon or lime or honey or just plain?
I like Ice-T with lemon and honey, and lime as well.
Finish up, brother.
So final score. Warriors 126. The Charlotte Hornets 116. Thanks for having me on the show. See you later. Let's keep this winning streak alive. Let's beat the Heat. Let's beat the Raptors. Thanks for having me on the show. See you later. Bye-bye, Cy. Woo!